Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.
Wilhelm vie nakkikioskille kotikatsomossa.
Hello everybody, and welcome to this presentation of the ECL Elite Division right here on NHL Gamer. My name is Doogie, joined as always by my broadcast partner Sin, and Sin, we are back again, another match day here in the ECL. Very excited to see how this one plays out, as last week we got to focus on some of our top clubs. This week though, at least for today, the spotlight focuses now on some of those bubble playoff teams, including some recently promoted teams as well. But we have Ique against Northern Ascendancy in our opening matchup. And then a little bit later on as well, you see it there. ZSC Esports pulling double duty today, playing Kova off stream, but we'll have their series against SAWO Esports a little bit later on as well. So, Sin, again, with these broadcasts, we always try to, spread the focus around a little bit. It's not always about the top teams. And these four teams certainly entered this season with playoff aspirations.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, pretty much everyone who gets in here just, wants to gun for that top 8 slot. And unfortunately, not all of them can get there. So here's a good chance for some of these to sort of make up some ground. The only thing that's a little bit heartbreaking is they're all right now on kind of, more the outside looking in. And some of them are going to stay that way as well. There can be only so many places at the table here. So we'll see which ones really want to eat.
So again, with that, 4 different games for you here today, 2 different matchups. So let's take a look at the standings to see just where these teams are at this stage. Of course, left-hand side of the bracket is where you want to be. The top 8 teams of the 16 best in Europe. And Sin, ultimately, of course, right now on that left-hand side, no real surprises within the top 4. It's pretty much what we expected to see at this stage. Of course, FBK above H-Reds right now due to the games played. But then on that left-hand side, again, right now you see a team like Goons, who we thought would probably be there, that Poggers would push for a spot, SAWO and Vesapampa. It is kind of lining up slightly as we expected, but again, on that right-hand side as well, YMCA, Northern Ascendancy, Yippee Voskal. I mean, there are some teams, too, where it's like, really didn't expect them to be where they'd be a third of the way through the season. So we said expect the unexpected with this season, and so far it's delivering.
Yeah, and I'm still, incredibly surprised. Yippee Voskal is still on that right-hand side, still with a sub-500 record. It's looking like it's beyond just kind of a rough start right there. It looks like they really have some things to iron out as the season gets along, and they got to get a move on. But yeah, still a lot of games played, discrepancies. But yeah, you mentioned it, Poggers up there, bit more of a kind of surprised to see where they are in that standings. But again, the extra games played, Vesapampa with a tremendous win-loss ratio. And I mean, things are starting to really heat up now. As ZSC Esports, we saw them picking up a few wins. They're going to have a chance perhaps to add more against SAWO, who does currently find themselves in that playoff spot as well. It's just, it's tumultuous. It's moving around, so many different moving pieces, but we're going to get some more results here tonight, and we'll see how those standings shift.
Again, a 30-game regular season, so pretty much every team at least at a third of the way through. With that, let's get into breaking down this matchup. We'll take a look at the team stats again, kicking things off today. Northern Ascendancy, a playoff team last year as they take on Ique, who, of course, won automatic promotion last year. And Sin, when looking at the team stats, I mean, it doesn't paint the best picture for these two so far. I mean, again, the goals, the goal differential right now really speaking to the two team struggles at this stage.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're able to score a decent chunk, but really not enough for this point in their seasons. And the goals against, that sort of ratio, though, that's not a playoff performance, plain and simple for either of these two teams. The special teams, both of them have room to improve on either side, or they have one going and then the other one that's not quite there. Similarly, Ique has a decent power play, Northern Ascendancy a decent penalty kill, but it's they're trying to pick up one thing, but then they're dropping all these other pieces. To make the playoffs here, you kind of have to have all the pieces of the machine working in the same direction.
So with that, let's get a look at the team lineups for Northern Ascendancy today. It's the front three, of course, that we expected. They've continued to move around a little bit, but seems as though they finally found their match. It's Tunkelia, Te'ahola, and the captain in Martindale. On defense, Fopa Toflin and Sparka Romberg, and of course, Supreeks between the pipes, that we'll be talking about here in a little bit. On the flip side, for Ique, the captain, Niepi, down that left-hand side. Lehtinen at center, Santeri on the right-hand side. The defense pairing, Make Axel and Nico Pierza between the pipes for Ique. Let's get into the individual breakdown. So the battle of the centers start us off here. And Sim, when it comes to Ahola and Lehtinen, I mean, two fairly evenly matched players in terms of the production so far.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, 10 games played each, 12 and 13 points respectively. Lehtinen with that goal advantage. But, when it comes to the faceoffs, Te'ahola does have the 52.9% in the positives, while Lehtinen so far has been struggling in the dot, boasting just a 41.9%. That's really going to have to improve. And, beyond that, I mean, it's when it comes down to those key faceoffs, that's something that you're going to need to win. But when you have that negative percentage, you are most likely losing the majority of those. So if he can sort of clean that up, maybe study some of the other centers that he's going to be taking, matching up against, that could benefit him down the stretch.
Looking at the battle of the wingers next here, again for Northern Ascendancy, the defenseman turned forward. It's Tunkelia alongside Martindale for Ique, again Niepi and Santeri here. So far, the production advantage belonging to the duo from Ique.
Yeah, but you're looking at these and you can kind of see where some of their scoring troubles are coming from. You want your wingers to really be producing points here, and, hovering around that point per game mark simply isn't good enough here in the ECL Elite. You like to see guys, 1.5, 2 points per game. That's how you know that team is elite, and, they're pushing for those playoff spots when they're getting that kind of production. We mention it all the time. Sometimes it's easier to score goals and keep the puck out of the net. Well, these teams right now struggling to put up those goals and also struggling to put to keep the puck out of their net. They're going to have to improve upon there. Santeri looking pretty good. Probably the guy here who's not having the issues, except it's not a one-man team out there. You're going to need the support.
Moving over now to the battle of the blue liners, the defenders here. Again, for Northern Ascendancy, Fopa Toflin, who drops back to defense this year and so far not looking at a place next to a Sparka Romberg, of course, and on the defensive side for Ique, Make Axel and Nico. And then again, we look here, slight advantage to Northern Ascendancy in terms of that production so far. Perhaps a little bit more physicality from the Ique duo here, as Make Axel is out hitting his opposition here single-handedly. He has 50 hits on the season. It's a combined 40 for Fopa Toflin and Sparka Romberg.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. And Make Axel, definitely more known as that shutdown. And it's almost the flip side, now with Northern Ascendancy having the production advantage over the defensive duo of Ique, where it was the opposite when we were looking at the wingers here. But when you're a team like Ique and you want to get a bit more production out of your defensive core because you want to present those threats from the other places on the ice, Fopa Toflin and Sparka Romberg doing a pretty good job of at least being threatening. I mean, 3 goals apiece as well. You have to be ready for them to shoot there from the point, which does create that threat. So Ique gonna have to keep an eye on that.
And again, our final head-to-head matchup, as always, it is the battle of the goaltenders, as we have Supreeks against Pierza. Now, Sin, we have had the ability to cover both of these teams now multiple times already this season. And in our last cast where we covered Northern Ascendancy again, I said it as much. For a top team, if they are looking for someone who can, I think, carry the weight, it is Supreeks. For Northern Ascendancy, I mean, again, playoff caliber team last year, could very well make the playoffs this year, and if they do, he is a big part of that. I don't think you can waste a goaltender of this caliber in case he does end up departing in the next season or two. If he gets a big offer from a bigger club, you need to make the most of this guy. It's time to get him that little bit of extra support. Whereas for Pirza, again, he has shown the ability to make some big saves, but then you look at that save percentage, and ultimately we've seen it. There have been some real fluky goals off the glove and in, off the blocker and in, bouncing around to the 5-hole, still trickles in. It's ultimately going to, be decided throughout the season. It all comes out in the wash, right? Whether or not it's just he wasn't good enough and hasn't been good enough, or if it's been some bad luck for him.
Yeah, and it's I would say there has been some bad luck in there, but we always talk about it, sometimes you have to make your own luck as well. And Pirza, at times if things are bouncing in the net and that becomes an issue, you're going to have to adjust something, your build, your positioning, your reaction time, something about your play, you might have to change just because it simply isn't working. It might not be through any fault of his own necessarily ability-wise, but yeah, you said it, something not working. And yeah, Saprix has just shown incredible ability to carry a team. And yeah, Northern Ascendancy gonna need to give him a lot more support.
So with that, we will move things over as we always do. The keys to success for each of the two sides. We'll start off with the Northern Ascendancy situation that they have going on here. And I say situation, Sin, because again, with NA, ultimately, a couple of different things that you can look at here. Apparently, I don't know if we have some technical difficulties going on. Okay, we don't. We're good. We're good. You never quite know. Sin, the streak continues in terms of, hey, start of a cast. I wasn't here last time because I couldn't be. You never know how it's going to play out. But again, mention the situation for Northern Ascendancy. It's a bit of a sticky situation. The 4th most penalties in the league, but the 5th fewest hits. That means we see a lot of stick infractions from this particular lineup here. Really need to cut that out, Sin, as we know that ultimately it's just not going to work out for you if you commit a decent amount of penalties. On the flip side, the dot dominance, though, of Teahala enters this matchup with nearly an 11% win percentage advantage on the faceoffs. With both teams struggling to score goals, that extra possession will be a huge factor tonight. And then we didn't really have one to, praise Saprix here, but a supreme goaltender, because nothing reeks about this guy. God, that was top-notch goaltending for NA so far. They need to see more of that. Sin, for IQ, what stands out here?
Well, yeah, hop over. It's, the quality over quantity. It's 3rd fewest shots in the league so far. You could make an argument, maybe it's by design, but considering that they're averaging currently less than 2 goals per game, if it is the game plan, it's simply not working. We kind of saw them last matchup start putting more pucks on net, but they're going to have to keep that up. Sometimes stepping out of your comfort zone can be hard, but you have to change what you're doing. If what you're doing is not working, you have to pressure the opposing goaltender a bit more. Second key here is be aggressive. Okay, not that aggressive. The 7th most hits and also the 6th most penalties. If you're gonna have to play that physical game, you're gonna need to try to avoid taking that many penalties. Be a bit better at picking your spots, especially when your PK is failing 1/3 of the time. That's simply not gonna be good enough. And the next point, the last point here is consistency in goal. We mentioned it a little bit when talking in that individual match, but Pirza has less than a 70% save percentage so far. Again, perhaps not completely due to fault of his own. We've covered IQ, and it seems to be, he can make these big saves, but then unfortunately something kind of weird happens, a weird bounce, or it hits him and goes in. A bit more luck perhaps could push this team into that playoff spot. And maybe Pirza, if he can continue those big saves and that luck kind of turns over, this team could find themselves on the right side of that bracket.
So with that, we are just about ready to go here for the matchup. You see the players in the lobby getting ready for the action today. Sin, of course, puck-moving defenseman, a big part of it. Oh, we do see the sniper on the right-hand side for Northern Ascendancy in Martindale. Not often seeing that. I mean, playmakers, 2 ways at center, that's okay, but we don't really see too many players, I feel like, rock the sniper build, unless your name's Hafe on Fairstaff.
Yeah, and actually, I believe last season, Martindale, and often seasons before that, Martindale would be rocking a grinder build. So it's honestly looking like Northern Ascendancy trying to make adjustments, and Martindale, one of those guys who takes it upon himself as the captain. I mean, we talked about it. He's changed positions. Now he's changing build. He's trying to find some way to spark his club, and sniper build may be the way to go for it. hard for me to do the quick maths conversion for how tall he is, but I'll get a good visual glimpse of it on the ice to see what sort of build he is going with in that sniper format, if he still is favoring that puck control and the size, or if he's going with a smaller one for the speed.
Here I thought he'd leave the spark to Romberg on the blue line, but maybe not. Sid, we're in fine form today. It's a Monday night. You never know what you're going to get, except for some ECL action here. Season 12 continues on. The game underway. Let's see how it plays out. Quick zone exit there. Tried to catch Martindale. Looking to free him up there. We call that the off-base special around these parts. Didn't quite work out. There again, Ique in the attacking zone, not able to make the most of it. You'll notice there, though, Santari, and on the flip side, Ahola for Northern Ascendancy, rocking the golden helmets as their team's leading scorer. That one thrown on by Tunkelia, but Pierce is able to make an early stop.
Yeah, well, early on, I get the answer to my question. Martindale definitely favoring the speed, the little sniper build out there. You can see it, trying to slap pass, sneaking around Make Axel. It wasn't quite fooled by it, though.
And a one-timer off the draw! What a start for Northern Ascendancy. Sin out of nowhere. Fopa Toflin bombs one home. 2:21 in, and we have our opening goal.
Yeah, I mean, just what a set play there by Northern Ascendancy to get that early marker. I mean, it was directly back. The pass initially, it was the winger stepping back who gets it, then sends it to him, goes opposite side. Does Fopa Toflin, and what a shot right there. Really no chance for Pirza.
So a tremendous start to this one here for Northern Ascendancy. We talked about it, both teams averaging less than 2 goals for per game so far this season. You score just over 2 minutes into that. Certainly puts the odds in your favor to be able to up that goal scoring average. We'll see how Ique responds to a bit of a slow start. Bringing it into the attacking zone there was Nieppe, not able to hold on to it. Northern Ascendancy again trying to get those quick breakouts down the other way. Held up at the line is Fopa Toflin. He'll drop it back. And Northern Ascendancy will regather. Martindale able to get the pass over. Again, another quick move. Shot on. Stopped by Pirza. See what Ique can do going the other way here. And so far, Sin completely stifled at the line. Big stretch pass to Martindale now on his opposite wing. Tried to get the pass over. Of course, Martindale played there at the beginning of this season before swapping wings, and that awoken something within this Northern Ascendancy lineup. Ique has it in the attacking zone here. Around the back to find its way all the way to the point. Again, back down low. Shot on, deflection, bid. But Saprix is there, sent a bit of a sneakily dangerous chance.
Yeah, absolutely. Before that, Ique didn't seem to really be able to generate too much, but, just throwing that puck on net right there, maybe trying to catch Saprix napping. Didn't quite work on that one, though.
Getting off the set play here on the draw. A couple of passes for Nieppe don't go through. One-timer's blocked. Martindale slowing up a little bit. Self-sauce to generate some speed. He has it down low in the corner. Kicks it back to the point. D to D, shot on. Good block in front there by Nico. Neutralizes the chance. Ique just not quite on form right now with this breakout. They try the quick out. Absolutely crushes Tunkelia there. Poked out of the zone. Northern Ascendancy back in possession as we hit the midway point of the first. And the move over the line just couldn't quite time that one.
Yeah, it was a good move. It would have created some space, though, but it's hard on your two other forwards there to time, themselves getting over that line with the puck there as that between the legs move. It does take, that puck back out of the zone, even if you had gained it at one point. But, I just got to shout out Martindale. I mean, looking a lot more dangerous with that build, it's the speed level. It's really creating another threat that Northern Ascendancy. Then even in the zone, look at them again looking for slap passes now. It's Northern Ascendancy have found something that they want to try to exploit and a confidence level that they really haven't had before this time, and trying to make it work here against Ique.
Much better job there by Ique to shut them down at the blue line, though. Down low, wraparound bid. Saprix is there. Stein Leitinen on the opportunity.
Yeah, and Saprix just doing what he does best, just being there for that first save. And Northern Ascendancy so far, a good job of not allowing those second, third opportunities from happening.
Off the draw, Ique not able to hold on to possession here. Again, another big stretch pass, just mistimed at the line. And Northern Ascendancy scoring 2 minutes and 21 seconds, I believe it was, into this game. The one-timer from Popo Toflin, his 4th goal of the season. Already for the former forward. Big stretch pass here, though, and the Epi's on the off wing. Draws a call as well, so the power play coming up for IQ if they need it. Wraparound bid again, shut down. So, Sid, I mean, we talked about it in the pre-game here. I mean, IQ, 4th best power play in the league. If they can stop taking so many penalties, really, that's a key for both teams. If they can stop taking so many penalties, the power plays have proven, I mean, well, for IQ to be dangerous, but for Northern Ascendancy, hey, it would be nice to get a bit of practice instead of being on the kill consistently.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's even more impressive considering that IQ, you know, haven't been winning a ton of face-offs. Is already through this game, it was like 4 or 5-1 last time we checked, and here's Northern Ascendancy on the counterattack, shorthanded. Again,
Popo Toflin proven to be dangerous, just holding it down low. Excellent penalty killing here from the defenseman, finally fished out by Santari, looking to lead it back down the other way. So the Epi holds up at the line, IQ back in the attacking zone, but not for long. That pass off the mark goes all the way back down the other way. One more chance here to gain the offensive zone before we're back to 5-on-5. Work down low, back in front. Sapreeks is there. Not sure if Santari even got a piece of it, but Sin, that was fantastic penalty killing work from Northern Ascendancy.
Yeah, and you can see some of the danger presented with what IQ want to do. The unfortunate part is errant passes, lost faceoffs prevented them from getting multiple looks.
And another opportunity there just doesn't go. See what NA can do. Back down the other way. Sapreeks making a couple of big stops. Shot deflects. Open man. Big kick save there by Pirza. Don't overlook that stop. Get the final minute of play here just about. That one sauced on goal. Sapreeks able to make the save.
Yeah, a little dangerous right there, perhaps looking to kind of sauce that around the net, but if Sapreeks perhaps wasn't paying attention, that actually could have snuck in, but he's right there on his game, able to keep that out. Another face-off, really, I was just going to say no problem maybe getting the face-off because Teahel has done such a good job there, but it was IQ winning that. The unfortunate animation right there as Make Axel was trying to slap it on net would lead to a neutral zone draw.
Okay, Axel as well, the lone skater without a goal so far this season for IQ. So, one of the few, if not the only one, that had elite experience heading into this season. So, gonna be a little bit frustrating for him, but I'm sure he'll open up the bank account eventually as that one taken away and cleared out. That brings us to the end of the first period. An early goal was the only one that we saw.
Yeah, and as that period wore on, I mean, Leighton did do a much better job in that data. He won about 3 or 4 in a row, and that would have been good because some of those were probably a little bit on that power play there. But you could see we're getting another look at that goal scored by Northern Ascendancy. As I mean, that's so tough for people to try to block that as you're just trying to move off that face-off, and the shot comes so quickly that it's hard to get in position for it, and you know that's why teams go for that, those set plays off the draw. There's so many different one-time looks. They opt for the defenseman look right there, and again, Pirza, just not a whole lot he can do. He's got a position for the far side opportunity, but they go for, you know, back to that opposite side, catching him sliding, and that's what led to that 1-goal marker. But second period here, we'll see if IQ can battle their way back. It is only a 1-goal game here.
They have the puck in their own zone. Again, had some breakout troubles throughout that first period. See if they can get those zone entries a little bit more consistently. They able to gain the blue line on this one. Again, trying to throw it in front, those passes in from the, essentially the corner, trying to sneak it in front. Talk about these teams already kind of showing their hand in terms of what they're looking for. High quality chances if they do go through, though.
Yeah, absolutely. But, you know, if they don't go through, what's your backup plan? You know, we talked about IQ not generating a ton of shots, so they got a few in that first period, though. So not to say that they're not, you know, falling back on that, but maybe you'd like to see that, you know, a few more different looks, not just, you know, either throw the puck on net or high quality chances. Maybe look for those B opportunities as well.
It's a shot on, rings off the pipe. Interesting there. Watch your angles if you're Sapreeks. Northern Ascendancy, though, good chance here. The pass just off the mark. Quickly dish back, and again, down low. Shot on! Pirza was caught moving, but he's able to make the stop. Maybe helped out a little bit there by Leitonen in front.
Yeah, I'm not too sure if that was animation that led him out of the way or a slight bit of overcommitment. Either way, the right side, his blocker side, was, you know, wide open there. Fortunate for him, that one didn't squeak through. Good shot block.
See again what IQ were able to do on this breakout. Good bank off the boards, and the Epi with speed quickly fended off, though. Martindale trying to get something going there down that left-hand side of your screen, unable to do so. This puck dumped in off of, looked to be an errant pass, and Northern Ascendancy right now willing to just drop back into the trap and trade chance for chance rather than put on the pressure, which, hey, you have the goal. Why not? But is a one-goal lead going to be enough as the stretch pass to Dunkelly is off the mark? Go all the way down, no icing called, so we play on. Again, IQ having to deal with a lot of traffic between the lines here. Northern Ascendancy back in control. And this time to the line once more.
Yeah, perhaps trying to hit headman Martindale there instead of Te'ahula, who did get the pickup, tried to feed it in front, but nonetheless led to an offside. But IQ struggling at times with these errant passes, and that's sort of been the case for them all season, especially in the neutral zone. But a good face-off play right there, even better defensive skill stick. However, they still got the puck in the zone.
Yep, able to recover it. Throws one on, scores! Deflected in front. Santari's there. Of all the chances to go in, Sin, turns out good things can happen when you put the puck on goal.
Yep, absolutely, especially if you have a body in front. That time it's Santari who gets his stick on it, goes up top, and I think rings off the post as he then finds himself within the net and stuck under the crossbar there. Always love to see that, but yeah, I love the shot from Niepi there. Not even the point guy, just kind of winding up and putting that on. I wonder if Santari called for that, said, hey, I'm in front, put that puck on net. It benefits them. It works out. This game is tied midway through the second.
We mentioned it for Northern Ascendancy. I guess the commentator's curse continues on. Is one goal enough? Turns out it's not. Let's see what they can do getting back in on the attack. Patelfin very aggressive. Dunkelia has no problem covering them, though. Again, as a former defender. IQ able to maintain possession here. This one down low. Loose puck recovered. And an errant pass from Northern Ascendancy here on the back foot. IQ with a decent opportunity. Big hit there at center ice. Again, NA having trouble timing it at the line right now. And there you go, Sid. Another offside.
Yeah, that one seemed to me almost... that was more unforced than some of the other ones. That would have been Tunkelia kind of getting in early. Martindale, I mean, it was pretty clear he would skate that over. Just some jumping happening. So maybe Northern Ascendancy a bit nervous right now that IQ has fought their way back.
They are in the attacking zone here, though. Quick passing. Shot blocked down in front. Again, working with Tunkelia. One-timer. Big save. Loose puck. Still being fought on for. Another big stop there by Pirza. Stretch pass, Niepi. Good puck protection here. Goes down low. Good movement, but Niepi read well by Patelfin. You don't get that read. That was a very dangerous chance. Martindale not able to hold it as he gets over the line. 3 minutes to go here in the second period. The first game of two between these two clubs. Again, later on, ZSC Esports taking on SAWO. And another great chance there. Both teams, I mean, Sin perhaps unlucky to only have just one goal on the board so far.
Yeah, absolutely. And IQ getting better and better as this game wears on. That being said, Tunkelia, a chance there with numbers, sent the puck back, though. Patelfin not on the boards, and Northern Ascendancy will have to go back and regroup.
Final minute, quick out, banks off of the centerman. IQ off the turnover. Santari can't get that shot there. Is not able. Thought he was going to have a second chance there, so got me tongue-tied a little bit. But, yeah, I mean, with the way he scored that first goal, you don't put it past him to find another one here late in the second. 5.6 to go here. Face-offs just about even. Slight advantage to NA, and that will bring us to the end of the period. Pirza takes a little bit of a tour of his own zone, and it's 1-1 heading into the third.
Yeah, and look at the face-offs there, too. Despite Northern Ascendancy winning that last one, great job from Leitonen to bring himself back to an even early on in this game. The faceoffs were 5-1, and that was just prior to the Ique power play. So, I mean, really, since then, I think Northern Ascendancy may have won the first faceoff off that power play too. So at one point, it was 6-1 in faceoffs. Great job for Lightning to, you know, kind of adjust, make the adjustments necessary to start winning some more, getting that possession for his team, and it's seeming to benefit them. They've tied the game up. They have the advantage in time on attack. If they could clean up some of those, you know, errant passes in the neutral zone and their own end here, they can maybe get Northern Ascendancy on the ropes, who, since the beginning of that first period, haven't looked exceptionally dangerous and are actually struggling to get that puck over the blue line and establish the attack on their own. We'll see what they could do here at the start of the third.
Crucial points up for grabs in this one. Two teams on the bubble trying to make it into the playoffs, and needless to say, these are the type of games you have to win when the expectation against the top clubs is that you won't walk away with points. These are the games that ultimately decide playoff teams. And Northern Ascendancy scored just over 2 minutes into this one, have not scored since, just 4 shots on goal. Ique controlling a lot of the play since then. Northern Ascendancy trying to get something going here. Tunkelia over the line, has a lot of space to work with, pass in front, chance there. Dahala tried to just tuck it in on the inside of the post there, hit the side of the net. Leitinen having to weave a little bit, another offside calls in. Decent amount of offsides in this one compared to what we normally see as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, both teams, you know, doing a decent job, but I think also on both sides, they're a little bit antsy trying to gain that line. I mean, you know, offense has been hard to come by. That can make you press a little bit when you're trying to score, which may be leading to some of these offsides. And again, you know, they want to get that puck in so badly that it's leading to some kind of rough decision-making from both sides there. They're just maybe just trying to get it in a bit too quickly at times.
Trying something different with the dump and chase. Read excellently by Nico. He gains the line down the other way. Nieppe in the corner. Tried to feed it in front, was poked away. But then recovered again by Northern Ascendancy. They gain the line. Martindale looking, shot on, rebound. Pearce able to kick that one out. The second chance doesn't go. Shots in, correct me if I'm wrong, just high and wide, and Northern Ascendancy will take a penalty here. That's Teahola, the centerman, as they get the goaltender out. Good patience here from Ique. Let's see what they can do with the extra attacker out there. Good pass at the line. Nieppe has options. Circles around. Good quick movements. Atari just not able to get that shot off. Still in possession though. Ique around the back of the net. Looking in front. Nearly had a goalie goal there. Pearce just couldn't get a piece of that one. Send Ique back to the power play.
Yeah, I'd say that was a bit of a frustration penalty there from Northern Ascendancy. They had such a good look with that high slot one-timer that, you know, he was just trying to force that in. He held that defensive skill stick a bit too long, and it found some skates. So Ique, another chance on the power play here to take the lead.
Two in the face-off here as well. On the back, in front, pass intercepted. Good recovery there by Nico. Nieppe looking. Good movement here from Ique, looking for that good shooting lane. Martindale nearly took that one away. Nieppe the one-timer, and Martindale all over him. Excellent defense from the captain. We're halfway through this power play. Halfway through the third period as well. In trouble at the line here. Good movement. Santari has it. Finds Leitinen. Make Axel, D to Nico, back to Leitinen, Martindale's there, still fighting for it. He's double teamed off the puck. Good move by Make Axel, can't get it in front, cleared out. We're back to 5-on-5 as there is indeed an icing call. I thought so with the player being out of the box.
Yeah, that will all come back on the icing, but yeah, Ique almost looking like they're trying to force something that wasn't quite there yet. And credit to Northern Ascendancy for being in the proper lanes, but you know, Ique maybe just looking like, I don't know, they had an idea in their head and they didn't seem to really take note of where those Northern Ascendancy skaters were and kept passing it into traffic there, which made it a bit easier there on the kill for Northern Ascendancy.
It's interesting too, Sim, with how they scored their goal by just throwing the puck on net. So, again, you talk about the preferred strategies and the team's willingness to differentiate from it as Tunkelia just can't get that pass off. Santari going back down the other way here. Quick dish back to the point. Make Axel on, deflection there, second chance, knocked loose at the last opportunity. Man, we have seen some close calls with Sapreeks in goal today. As Leitonen unable to hold on. Shot on by Nico. Loose puck in Northern Ascendancy. Gonna try to settle things down a little bit here. Couple of chances. This one nearly getting away from them. And the Epi knocks it loose. 3 minutes to go in regulation. It would be a crucial point for both teams, but IQ right now looking the more likely to walk away with the 2 points here in this one. Up to Northern Ascendancy to play the role of heartbreakers here and steal this one away as we approach the final minute. Kick stop by Pirza. And it's one and done in the attacking zone for Northern Ascendancy yet again, whereas for IQ, we've seen it multiple opportunities. Final minute of play here. Leitonen has it. Goes all the way over to Nico. One-timer, Makeax, a loose puck on the doorstep. And Leitonen just couldn't get a big piece of that one.
Yeah, I think he kind of swept it towards the net right there, but Saprix was there. Excellent job tracking that, because even I was having some trouble figuring out where that puck was going to go. He's able to track it, keep his eye on it, and yeah, you said it. Northern Ascendancy has been a bit on the ropes here. They go for a slap pass opportunity. Well read by Make Axel. Not fooled at all. Had a decent few steps there on Martindale, and that will come back for icing. We'll see if IQ can maybe win this face-off here.
Big moment in this one. Could be a big moment in the season. Face off one again by Leitonen. Santari down low. Back to the centerman here. Around the back goes for the wrap. Saprix was there. 30 seconds to play here. Another offside call against Northern Ascendancy. And it's been a frustrating game for them. I mean, it hasn't really gotten better as it's gone on. And, you know, you talk about it here. These are the type of games where if you're going to make the playoffs, you need to walk away with 2 points and not give up at least an overtime point to your opposition. 24 seconds to go here. Northern Ascendancy back in possession. On the rush, Martindale on the off wing, easily knocked off the puck by Nico. He's had a phenomenal game for IQ in this one. At the final 10 seconds, Niepi holds. Down low to Leitonen. Muscled off the puck by Sparko Romberg. And that will do it, Sin. We do indeed go to overtime. 1 goal apiece. Not the performance I think that either side would want. They earn a point out of it, but at the end of the day, not exactly the, again, the most impressive of performances.
No, I mean, but I like what I saw from IQ. They really got better as this game wore on. They had a bit of a rough start, obviously surrendering the early goal, and, you know, Northern Ascendancy had the majority of the chances early on, but as this kept going, IQ, they started winning a few more faceoffs. Credit to Leitonen for making the proper adjustments as we get another look. How did that stay out? Saprix able to kind of get that stick on it as he flailed backwards, but yeah, I mean, look at the shot totals. I mean, doubling it, and the time on attack, it just kept, the gaps just kept increasing for IQ as the game wore on. So credit to them, making the adjustments, you know, really doing a good job of getting more and more looks. As Northern Ascendancy, we saw there, kind of one and done. They'd gain the line, maybe put a shot on. It seemed like Martindale either was trying to snipe it, look for a rebound. The problem was no one's there for the rebound. The other issue they're having is gaining that line cleanly. It seemed like they were, you know, kept going offside. So again, you know, IQ forcing them at the line into situations they don't want to be in. So if you're IQ, you got to be feeling good about how you kind of played the rest of the game. The problem is you still only have 1 goal for you. We're going to want to get this extra one and this extra point here, or else it'll feel like unfinished business, as they have been the better team down the stretch.
Both of these teams averaging less than 2 goals for per game. That trend will change for whoever decides to win this first one. So we'll see if Northern Ascendancy can get that consistent zone entry here. So Ankelia immediately fended off by Nico. I mean, it's tough. You got Make Axel on one side, Nico on the other. Both have been phenomenal in this game. Here's Make Axel again. Circles around. Has Leitonen down low. Gets it back. Shot. Deflection bid there for Santari again. Not able to get a piece of that one on this occasion. Here's Martindale down that left-hand side of your screen. Looks to cut back. Muscled off by Make Axel. Still fighting for it. Finds Teahola. He's knocked off the puck. Still fighting for it here, though. And again, IQ will walk away with a big stretch pass to Santari. Chance to the middle here. Leitonen loose puck on the doorstep. Saprix able to come up with a save. A great chance for the end.
Yeah, that could have ended right there. Great job from Lightning, just driving the net. Doesn't get the shot on, but the puck bounces towards the pad of Saprix, and I think that was Santeri getting the secondary opportunity there. Fortunate for them, it didn't go in. Northern Ascendancy get to survive right there. That could have, been it for them, but good job by Saprix with his positioning, and they're back on the attack now.
Puck down low in the corner, shot on just wide. Nearly caught Pirza off guard from the looks of it. They try the quick out. Not all that far, only to their blue line. The attacking zone here again. Lightning fighting for it, not able to hold on to it. We need a winner from one of these two teams here. But instead, it's another offside call.
Yeah, Tunkelia had the line and just couldn't hold it right there. It always makes you nervous when you see those blue line delays. They're trying to create some kind of space, but it's the defenseman Nico and Maki Axel who are wise to that throughout this whole thing, not allowing them that time and space and almost creating turnovers going back the other way for Ique. Northern Ascendancy gonna have to watch out for that.
Then we might be setting the record for most offsides in a game this season.
Yeah, at least it seems to be when I want to make a point, the gameplay won't stop, but when I'm done making a point, we have yet another whistle and a chance for me to make a point. The problem is, I'm sort of running out here.
Chance here, Santari, the toe drag backhand, Saprix says no. What a stop there to keep this one going.
I mean, just phenomenal play from Saprix, not fooled at all, not letting himself get beat by the speed of Santari, cutting across the net, continuing to be on his game.
We talked about it. Big shot from Maki Axel just wide. We talked about that as well. Him looking for his first goal of the season. Only had 5 registered shots in 10 games. With an accuracy like that, you can see why. At the end of the day, though, with Saprix in goal for Northern Ascendancy, we talked about it. Can you please get the man some offense? And again, 2 goals at best in this one. Only 1 on the board. Again, 2.5 minutes in. They haven't scored since. It's got to be frustrating for a netminder here. He stays focused, but still, not going to play the blame game on this one. But from the outside perspective, get that goaltender some help. You could have the same argument here. It's been a much better game for Pirza. We have 7 minutes to go here in overtime 1. Sin and I both scared to death. Breakaway here. Nieppe has a step. The chance. He scores on the backhand. Ique walking away with the lion's share of the points. And Sin, it's tough to say it's undeserved. Big win for them.
Yeah, they just kept looking better, and Northern Ascendancy just kept looking shaky right there. A bit of a self-inflicted wound, a turnover as they tried to enter the zone. Credit to Ique for continuing to force those as the game went on, though, but just too many horizontal passes right there as they're trying to gain the zone. It creates a turnover. Nieppe jumps on it, pounces on it, you could say. I mean, he was ready for it. Self-sauce to create the space in all alone on Saprix. Saprix, as good as he is, eventually, he's going to allow one in, and a one-on-one opportunity does just that. Ique come away with the victory. Yes, Northern Ascendancy gets that point, but just after that, kind of first period, there wasn't a whole lot of positives for Northern Ascendancy looking on in that game. They really got to clean up their zone entries so many times. They sort of stopped their momentum before it even got going there, and Ique, as I said, kept looking better as it wore on. They get rewarded with the W there. Great job from Nieppe in that overtime. We'll see if Northern Ascendancy can make the sort of adjustments necessary, as we're going to get another look here. Look, they get crossed up. It was I think it was Te Ahola and the defenseman getting crossed up on the blue line, which created sort of the delay, and then the turnover happened on the next pass. Nieppe, almost waiting for it, jumped on it. That's just a rough way to end if you're Northern Ascendancy, but sort of symptomatic of how they played that game and their struggle is getting the zone.
All I can say, Sin, is on the hottest day of the year here, I thank the teams for not going to 5 overtimes. Very much appreciated. That was the point I was about to make, as who knows how long we might be here, but thankfully, not all that long was the answer. We have a winner in that one, as Nieppe, the captain, leads by example. Sin, as we do, we have a lot to talk about to set up the second game here, but of course, as always, we want to get you a quick word from one of our lovely sponsors. We'll be back in just a second.
Wilhelm vie nakkikioskille kotikatsomossa.
Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.
I think I speak for us all in saying that I feel a bit awkward after that. Shout out to Kouvolan Lakritsi, of course, via Play, and our lovely sponsors in Wilhelm. Sin, I mean, I think we can both say as Americans, commercials just hit differently.
Yeah, I got it. The European game is strong.
Yeah.
That's what else can you say about that? I don't even like licorice, and I'm tempted to get some. But yeah, it's excellent advertising, of course, and we thank all of our sponsors once again for helping make this ECL season possible. But I'm excited for the second game. Can Northern Ascendancy make the adjustments necessary to sort of work their way back in? Started so strong and then fizzled out quickly.
A lot of different things for us to try, Sin, if we make our way over to that side of the pond. Kenu. Anyway, regardless, we move on. Like you said, with this second matchup, I want to talk about Ique, though, in that particular one, because like you said, not exactly the strongest start. You give up that early goal, but from there, they found that little bit of extra consistency. We talked about it for Leitonen at center, his ability to really pick up, you know, the face-off advantage there, or at least keep it close. Like we said, it was about an 11% advantage for Ahola to this point in the season in terms of winning the draws, so he did a much better job that he needed to do, and that may have been the best game of the season for Ique and Nico. I mean, I thought they were both fantastic in shutting down the NA, you know, offense for whatever they tried to throw at them, whether it was those quick outs or the quick passes at the blue line. So for Ique, I don't really know if there's too much you have to necessarily change, aside from obviously not wanting to have that second goal finally come towards the back half of an overtime period.
Yeah, Ique, like, yeah, but despite the beginning, their defense was solid. Maki and Nico on that point, creating, you know, havoc for Northern Ascendancy. It's not just Northern Ascendancy making those mistakes on their own. Oftentimes they were forced into them by Ique, and that's a good job, you know, good defensive team effort there from Ique. But yeah, you want to get a few more goals. They had some decent looks. Saprix, obviously very difficult to score against. So we're getting another look at that overtime marker there in all alone. Saprix not going to have too many, you know, not going to have, it's tough as a goaltender. You're not going to stop it all the time. As good as he is, you know, it can be tough. And again, on his team a little bit for allowing that to happen, especially in an overtime. And it comes back to Ique defense, turning that into offense. If they could do that more here in this second game, they're going to be in great shape.
Again, for Northern Ascendancy, they'll be the home team in this one. You need to get more offense for one of the league's better goaltenders. We'll continue to point out that, you know, that poor side to the Northern Ascendancy season so far. The lack of offense there. This is a team, as mentioned, that made the playoffs last year. They need to find a way to get that offense going. They're the home team in this one in the blue and green, going down on your screen, of course. Ique in the white. We'll see again if we get another early goal. That was a big block there in front. Again, for Ique, what type of performance will we see here? They can continue to play the way that they were towards the back half of that last game. I think they'll be in a good spot. Martindale, absolutely nobody there, Sin, and that just appears to be the issue with NA right now, is, you know, trying to make plays, hoping that someone's there instead of making plays off of what's actually available.
Yeah, almost seeming like they're all still adjusting to the new speed of Martindale. Perhaps he is as well. I mean, he gets in all alone. He creates time and space, but the problem is, where's the follow-up? Very easy for Ique to sort of collapse on him and force a turnover.
Making a turnover shot there. Second opportunity. Puck still alive. Turnover here again. Poked away at the last minute there by Sparkle Romberg. Ique still in the attacking zone. Tough to beat Saprix, but when you have this much offensive pressure, it's going to happen sooner rather than later as we see another turnover from Northern Ascendancy. I mean, again, 4-5-1 entering today, now 4-5-2 on the season. For a former playoff team last year, it's just not the performance we expected. Wraparound, second chance still there. Ahola held it as if he thought Saprix had it. That one's sent down. Northern Ascendancy playing with fire right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And Ique really looking to jump on some of these mistakes. Unfortunately for Nieppe, he got it. Perhaps not expecting to get the puck pickup. Suprix was out of position, couldn't pull the trigger on the shot. So the score remains, or the game remains scoreless.
Good movement here from NA, but unable to hold it for all that long. Time to the line, Leitonen in the attacking zone, loses it in the double team. Well, Bertoflin quickly looks to move it up, pass off the mark. Not the inspiring performance we were hoping to see from NA today, with valuable points on the line. Still plenty of time in the second game, though, to get things under control. That one blocked down in front again, one back. Ahola throws one on from a weird angle. Pirza able to make the save.
Yeah, not bad. Looking for the rebound bounce right there. Did pop out two Northern Ascendancy jerseys in front. Couldn't get their sticks on it. Will create the offensive zone face-off for them, though.
Able to take advantage of it as, again, Leitonen's done a good job on the draws today. Compared to his season average, Santari back to Leitonen. Tried the big cut-in. Not able to hold on to the puck. Martindale made a play against Make Axel, still fighting for it here, actually. Shot on and the glove stop by Suprix, robbing Nico.
Yeah, and I like it. You know, when Ique are taking those shots from the point, they're making sure that they have bodies in front, either, for screens or deflections for rebounds. Great job from them. They're really seeming to be working more and more as a unit as this series wear on, whereas Northern Ascendancy kind of still struggling at times visually, with chemistry. They don't quite seem to be on the same page.
In possession here, slowed down by Ahola, though. Gets it back. Quick movement. Martindale knocked off the puck. And again, in terms of offensive chances, Ique, multiple threats on an attack. Northern Ascendancy, it's one and done. They fall right back into the trap. To be honest, Sin, I mean, you might want to see them open up a little bit more, but you could argue once they got aggressive in that overtime, they immediately gave up the breakaway and lost. So it's a tough argument on what exactly they need to do here, aside from getting results, as that one doesn't find its way through. Nearly taken away, but still in the attacking zone. Keala's shot blocked by Nico. Excellent work there. It's Ique back in possession, so a good bit of sustained pressure for Northern Ascendancy, a rarity so far here tonight. Elvin at the line and back down low. Santari nearly picked the corner. Still has it down low. The board play tried to work his way back to the front of the net. Nieppe shot can't make its way through the traffic. Northern Ascendancy coming back down the other way. Loose puck. Recovered by Nico, and that will wind down the clock. So a goalless first period. Sin, I mean, where do these two teams go from here?
I mean, for Northern Ascendancy, they started getting some zone time. Perhaps that'll be a building block. They didn't look too dangerous with it. I think I would like to see a bit more lateral zone movement for them. They seem to overload one side, and then their chance comes from that exact same side. Instead of maybe trying to get Ique moving and get them out of position, they're sort of letting them establish their collapse and get in the lanes for the shots. When we think back to the Northern Ascendancy goal that they scored, it was a one-timer that they forced Ique to begin to move laterally in their zone. Yes, it was off the face-off, but that's sort of how it came about. The puck on one side to get it to the other, then they take their shot. But it's seeming that right now, Northern Ascendancy, when they have the zone, they get it to one side of the ice, they pass it down low, and then kind of maybe kick it back up. But they're not really forcing Ique to move horizontally, to move laterally. Pirza able to really kind of, present himself on just one side of the net, which is giving them an advantage to defend against things. And you see that just one registered shot from Northern Ascendancy, not from a lack of attempts, though. Good job from Ique getting in those shooting lanes. And of course, scoreless here after the first, but Ique still seeming like they're kind of trying to pick up where they left off from last one. Adjustments being made by Northern Ascendancy. We'll see if they can make a few more here, start getting some better quality chances, and put that puck in the net.
Period underway, picking up right where we left off with another offside. Not to throw shade at the two teams, but hey, you gotta call it as you sees it. See what happens here. We're moving forward, looking for our opening goal of this contest. Nearly had it there. Santari still fighting for it down low in the double team pressure. Good job by Leitonen. Santari tried the odd angle. Not able to shovel that one home, and again a turnover from Northern Ascendancy. Not to sound like a a broken record at this stage, but it's just the performance that we've seen from them today. And a turnover here by IQ. Let's see what NA can do going back down the other way. Martindale fends off the pressure. Has a chance. Tried the snipe. Pierce is there. Rebound was dangerous there for a moment. Sin perhaps understated here. I mean, NA, big part of their struggles. The improved defensive performance, though, is a team that we've seen from IQ as they miss time in here at the line.
Yeah, and, you know, I like the idea from Martindale there, you know, use kind of Tunkelia as bait to take that shot, but, yeah, it's still, again, Pearson hasn't seemed to be fooled yet, and, you know, once again, Leitinen struggling early on in the face-off dot. They win one here and gain some traction in the offensive zone.
A wraparound bid from Leitinen doesn't find its way through. Tunkelia nowhere to go. Martindale helping out on the off wing. They have it now. Sparka Ronberg stepping in. Not able to hold on to it through the pressure. Big stretch pass finds its way to Leitinen, but again, immediately met with pressure. Tunkelia finds Martindale looking, loose puck. Not able to hold on to it. So Sin, I mean, again, right now you talk about just kind of a stalemate between these two teams.
Yeah, definitely. Neither team able to really gain the zone too much, but as we say that, we see IQ breaking in.
Leitinen has it down low. Monterey tried to throw it back to him, goes all the way out of the zone. The struggle continues.
Yeah, working at a bit of a standstill now for both of these teams. It's now a game of who can break in first.
Now low, thrown in front. Santari on the doorstep, just not able to wheel that one home. They tried the quick out, but again, Leitinen all over it. Huge hit there as Martindale gets dropped. He gets it back and dumps it in.
Are you going to cry ice tilt now, bud?
Tunkelia gets destroyed by that hip check. He has it back once more, though. That one off the side of the net. Loose puck recovered, settled down by Leitinen. And again, IQ back in possession, looking to get things going on the breakout. Loose puck. Fought on for. Martindale has it. Only momentarily. Instead, it's just a mad scramble for the puck in the neutral zone right now.
Yeah, seeming to be bouncing all over the place. Neither team able to get a handle on it for too long here as we see another errant pass all the way back into the zone, and the stalemate just continues. At this point, what team will be able to sort of get in the zone? It's not even about, you know, getting a goal at this point. It's how do you get into the zone and how do you even establish an attack, is neither team really giving an inch in that regard.
Defensive battle between these two clubs. Final 4 minutes here of the second period. Timed at the line. Monterey stepping up. Leitinen able to get it down low in the Epi here. Quick give and goes with Makax on the Epi looking. Leitinen tries to shovel it home. Freaks is there. Again, Northern Ascendancy trying to get something going, but it's just not happening. With these breakouts right now, they need someone to take over and be a difference maker. Leitinen nearly was on that chance. The Epi throws it on, deflection bid. We see it again. That one went just wide though. Final 40 seconds now. Of course, fast final minute. Chance for Northern Ascendancy perhaps. Fopa Toflin has it here. Looking, waited too long, gets the pass off anyway, and now in the corner, 3 seconds at the point. Slap shot blocked down. Sin still looking for our opening goal in this one as we head to the third.
Yep, and it doesn't look like either of these teams are really going to solve those scoring issues in this matchup. I mean, their woes continue offensively, and we're getting a glimpse at why that possibly is. I mean, neither of these teams either this season great defensively. However, they're both looking pretty strong because neither of them are really able to be threatening enough for extended periods of time on the offensive end of things. Neither IQ or Northern Ascendancy are, you know, really looking exceptionally strong. We saw them, IQ going back to the well with that Nieppe shot as he circles out from the half boards towards the point, takes a slap shot on. That's how they scored their first goal in the last game, but unable to find pay dirt on that one. But again, I mean, at that point, you're kind of throwing your sort of a destiny at the hands of, you know, luck or bounces or deflections, and I don't know if that's a, you know, a viable strategy as the season wears on.
Hit there. IQ still in possession for the moment. At the point, Maka Axel goes back down low. Leitonen, plenty of options. Throws in the front. Santeri denied. Another chance there. Again for IQ, just surprising to not see more shots from the point, especially with that heavy collapse. I guess you could argue, well, is it really going to go through? But are these passes going through consistently? So why not take your chances? This one goes down for icing. Face off. Right.
Yeah, and definitely, you know, both teams, you know, mechanically good, you can see that, but neither really seeming to be willing to step outside of their comfort zone and throw other looks at the squads here. And, you know, it kind of, you know, may seem bewildering, at least to the viewers, to us at times, but, you know, these guys, you know, perhaps know something that we don't. They want to try to at least play to their system. However, a poke coming through from Northern Ascendancy trying to break up the stretch pass will lead to an IQ power play.
Yet another one for them here. Let's see what they can do. Leitonen on the draw, not able to win. Quick exit. They'll be forced to reset. Again, IQ. The second worst power play, excuse me, the fourth best power play in the league. It was Northern Ascendancy with that second worst power play. So it was one of the big things we were looking at here was IQ. Can they make the most of the power play? And so far, here tonight, they haven't. But a good chance here now to get this game's first goal. Good movement in front, nearly shoveled home. Leitonen's pass back to Nieppe doesn't go. Captain has it here along the half wall, tries to go back down low, bumped off by Martindale and cleared. At least out to center ice. One more chance before we go back to 5-on-5. Nieppe on the off wing. Leitonen has it, tried the short side, nearly caught Saprik. So a couple of decent looks. Ultimately, again, no results for IQ in this one.
Yeah, it's just, you know, they're looking for something. They haven't quite been able to find it. They look dangerous at times, but then at other times, it's like it doesn't quite come to fruition for them. And it's showed throughout the course of this, you know, unable to score right now. Time's ticking away here in the third period. Another power play that goes, you know, really without too much. That they had that one in-tight opportunity to pass across into that slot. Didn't go on the first one. They had it behind the net. Couldn't find the secondary opportunity. And unable to really get much going there either. Yeah. Jinx.
I was going to let you run with it because I'm like, well, if this is anything to go off of, I mean, we'll see what happens here. This one poked away. Kelly trying to make the move. Martindale has it here. Again, gets it back. Fopa Tolflin in possession. Back down low to Martindale. Not able to get that pass in front. Just a stalemate between these two teams. Again, over the line, nowhere to go. Forced to wait, IQ. A little bit of space here, perhaps. Leitonen loses it. Make Axel looking to step in, throws it in front. Nico's shot, second chance, and Sapriks. And that's the issue. Even if you do solve the defense the other way, you still got to solve a fantastic goalie down the other way. I will continue to hit upon this point. Shot scores! There we go. If you're Northern Ascendancy, get some offense. If you're IQ, throw some pucks on goal. That's the second time Santari has deflected one home. So then we finally have a difference maker, perhaps.
Yeah, and it's IQ coming with it this time, the first one of the game, but they found that shooting lane. They got the deflection. That's probably how you're going to be able to score there as we harken back to that the series of saves he made. He was way out of his crease, you know, farther out than you really ever see goalies here, especially in the ECL, but it worked for him. Cut off the angles, didn't allow IQ to score. However, they do get another shot in from near the point. They get the deflection on. If it works, work it, and they went back to the well on that one. 1-0 for IQ, and Northern Ascendancy still sitting back, maybe now just trying to pressure the puck there. They get it, we'll see if they can counterattack.
I'm telling you, with space, tried to pass it over, just way too obvious. The defense makes the stop. Sparker Romberg has it poked away. Here's Nieppe, had a similar chance in overtime, but that time the defense was able to catch him. 4.5 minutes here for Northern Ascendancy. Again, a team averaging less than 2 goals for per game. 1 goal in the last one. So far, held off the score sheet. They can't hold the line, and they missed time of coming back the other way. Said I don't really know what to say about their performance at this point. I mean, I really did think we'd see a bit more offensive consistency from them in this one. And not so much.
Yeah, it's really, it comes down to their blue line play. Te'ahola almost held that in. He just couldn't manage to, get a handle on his player there as he was kind of L-skating with that puck on the line, and then they have another miscommunication and they go offsides, but they gain the line right here. We'll see what they can do with it. Can they put together a good offensive series?
Martindale throws one on. Pirza able to find it though. 1:56 to play for Northern Ascendancy to find this goal here. Entered play today in 10th with 9 points. They're up to 10. 1 point out of a possible 4. Not exactly what they're looking for, as Leitinen just can't get that one. We hit the final minute here. Do or die for Northern Ascendancy here. Martindale over the line. Not able to hold it. It's back out to center. Skopotov unable to gain. Circles around. Down low for Te'ahola. Holds. Loses it. Ique trying to get that breakout. They do have a little bit of space. Here's Nieppe. Holds. Got a chance to send it down low. They're elected not to. 30 seconds to play now. Martindale unable to hold. Makeak is causing havoc on that left-hand side. And Kalia unable to hold the puck here as well. He recovers, though. Chance shot. Big blocker stop on Martindale. And to win it back down low in the corner here. Shot blocked. Still loose. Bouncing around. Back in the corner. And a pass to the points off the mark. Down to 6 seconds. Would take a miracle here. This one thrown on nets. Pirza makes the stop from nearly 200 feet. And Ique are going to walk away with the victory. Pirza's first shutouts in Elite. Ique walking away, Sim, with 4 points. It wasn't easy, but they got it done.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed at time to come, not, as you said, not as easy, maybe a bit of a struggle at time. That being said, though, Northern Ascendancy not doing, I'd say, enough with the offensive time that they did get. Credit to Make, Axel, Nico, and of course the forward front three for creating havoc on the blue line. Northern Ascendancy just couldn't get any momentum or any consistency breaking that puck into the zone. So at that point, how are you gonna, get your offense going? And with that smaller build from Martindale, after the few attempts that we saw of those long stretch passes, they almost abandoned that idea completely because, well, Make Axel seemed to always be ready for it, always in position. If you're Martindale, I mean, that's a rough kind of, trial, if you will, with that newer build, to have to go up against someone like Make Axel, who's just so defensive minded, so good, so physical. He'll body you off that puck with that smaller build. They weren't able to gain any traction here. And look at, the majority, actually I could say, only 3 goals scored for Ique, the majority of which were slap shots and deflections. It's almost the exact same kind of style right there, except that time it would have been, oh no, it was Nieppe, I think. So, yeah, 62, taking the shot from the point both times, deflected by Santeri, and that ends up being the game winner here in the second one, and Ique walk away with the 4 points.
I mean, Sin, at the end of the day, I think for both of these teams, it goes without saying, they have to figure out these offensive issues, because if this is the standard, even if you make the playoffs against one of those lower seeds, I mean, that's your season right there. If you make the playoffs into one of those lower spots, that's your title, because you will not be able to, survive against one of our top teams if 1 to 2 goals is the maximum output that we see from you. So for Ique, a big day, doubling their win total. They had 2 wins entering the day. They're now up to 4. So phenomenal work there for them. They jump Northern Ascendancy in the standings. We'll get you an updated look at everything on the opposite side of the break. Of course, that's just our first 2 games. We have 2 more for you in this broadcast as our Swiss contingent, the ZSC Lions, easy for me to say. Always want to say Zed. Always want to say Zed. But the ZSC Lions take on SAWO Esports on the opposite side of the break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.
Wilhelm vie nakkikioskille kotikatsomossa.
Well, Sin, they sure know how to sell some licorice. We are back, everybody. We thank you very much for joining us here. Again, another ECL Elite Division match day. Our first two games are in the books, and we move on to our second series here tonight. And we'll get right into the action here to bring those games to you as fast as we possibly can. Although I do believe we have a quick look at the latest results and perhaps the updated standings as well as... Again, you see there, of course, Ique pulling off the double over Northern Ascendancy. But for ZSC Esports, Sin, this is the big story. They head into this game after picking up just 1 point against Kova, who were towards the bottom half of the standings here entering play today. So not the best run of form against ZSC, finishing those games in the middle of while we were covering the Ique series there as well. So sets the stage for an interesting one. Of course, SAWO as well, who we're about to see in action. A big 7-3 win over FBK recently as well. So both teams entering this matchup in a very interesting scenario.
Yeah, I mean, SAWO taking 2 games off Feriestad. That is absolutely impressive from the SAWO squad. I mean, they really seem to be on the up and up here. And if you're ZSC, you want to pick up some points, but SAWO right now just seeming to be firing on all cylinders. We'll see if they can carry it over to this matchup here today.
Absolutely. So let's see how this affects the standings now at this stage. As you get a look, I mean, for Feriestad, again, still in third off of the games played, but up to 5 losses now in their 12 games. That's going to hurt their chances of staying above HREDs long term, to say the least. But you see SAWO in 7th now. You know, our lovely panel of experts said, "Hey, SAWO, keep an eye on them. They could make the they could make the playoffs this season." And right now, I mean, hey, they're in a good spot. 12 games out of 30 played, but there you see there on the flip side, I mean, you have Kova now up to 12th off of those results, but for ZSC, of course, recently promoted from the Pro Division last season. If the season were to end today with these standings, they would find themselves in a relegation battle, so not quite where they would want to be. With that, let's get into the breakdowns here. We'll take a look at the two teams head-to-head here, the team stats that we have. And Sin, I mean, again, for ZSC right now, there is an obvious issue.
Yeah, it's the goals against. Yeah, you had to go up against some tough teams who absolutely poured it on. That being said, that's part of the elite. You know, you have to be able to make the adjustments. You're going to have to find a way to get better here. So if you ignore, what you can do at this point is, you know, some of those were blowout victories as we saw. You can kind of ignore that stat if you're them and just try to focus on the task in front of you, which is, you know, SAWO Esports. But that is not an easy task, because you can see their differential much better. You know, 31 goals for, 33 against, beating ZSC Esports in both of those categories with not too bad of special teams either. That being said, ZSC does have that 33% power play that has been clicking for them so far.
Absolutely. With that, let's get a look here at the lineups in this one. For ZSC, it is Ali on the left-hand side. I think a change there. Not sure if Timotei was still approved or scheduled for the lineup there, but it will be Ali on the left-hand side. We'll try to clarify that for sure, who will be on the left-hand side. The captain in Original Snooze leading the way up the middle. Freeman on the right, the defense. And indeed, we have it confirmed. There you see it. Timotei is in over Ali. All right, so when one thing is wrong, it's like, okay, which one's actually wrong here? So Timotei is in, the defense, Tony and Haldim. And of course, it's Chich between the pipes. And on the right-hand side there for SAWO, Wiegelson, Chrysutus, and EA Bunka on defense. Talon Mies and the captain, Mr. Nipsely, Roysto between the pipes here in this one. Sin, let's go to those Battle of the Centers, the individual matchups as we have here. Snus against Chrysutus, which is one of my new favorite head-to-head matchups that we have in all of the Elite. I mean, both guys at least a point per game pace. I mean, you know, it's tough to blame some of the issues on these two centers.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Snus actually leading his team in points with 10 right there. Also, however, leading his team in penalty minutes. So something he's going to want to have to clean up here. And when it comes to that face-off battle, which we always have to touch on, pretty similar. Both sub 50%, 48.2 for Snus and 46.6 for Christotus. But, you know, really this matchup's going to come down to those key draws and who's able to gain the possession in the right areas for their squads.
With that, we'll take a look at the battle of the wingers here. Of course, confirmed, Timotei is in alongside Freeman. On the flip side, Wiegelson and EA Bunka. And I mean, Sin, drastic difference in the performance here and the production between these four.
Yeah, and that is kind of, you know, those playoff hopefuls versus those who are maybe like ZSC trying to just stay out of the relegation position. If they want to get higher in the standings, they're going to need some more production. We've seen Freeman at times be really a game changer and finding themselves in these terrific positions, you know, but the rest of the team going to have to get on that same level and, you know, really be game changers of their own, because you look at, you know, Wiegelson and EA Bunka, massive point totals, and, you know, the differentials absolutely huge. I mean, more assists for Wiegelson than Freeman or Timotei has in points.
Interesting point there, to say the least. And of course, on the blue line, Tony and Haldim for the Swiss contingent that we have here. Talonmies and Nipsely for SAWO. And again, Sin, the advantage in terms of production here goes to SAWO.
Yeah, but I got to say, I love what Tony's done. 5 goals. That actually ties him across the ECL elite amongst defensemen for goal totals, and it's not often you see a guy with more goals than assists on the point, but Tony has that, so a huge threat on the back end there in Tony. So ZSC Esports going to have to keep an eye on him sneaking into those scoring positions and, you know, really make sure. So Mr. Nipsley and Talon Mees, while they do have decent production, really going to have to be on their game defensively as well.
And looking at the goaltenders here to round things out for a ZSC, it is Chich, and on the flip side, Roysto. Of course, as you can see, a former depth option for Havu. And Sin, at this stage, I mean, neither goaltender, I'd say, with the numbers that they're looking for, a good opportunity for both here today.
Yeah, and Roysto, with the much less games played, only 4 so far. So it seems like, you know, SAWO trying to get, you know, different looks for either their goaltenders, figure out which one is going to be the man heading forward. And today it's going to be Roysto. So we'll see how he does against this ZSC lineup, who has been struggling to score. On the flip side, Chich, who, you know, we mentioned at times at the ability to make some big saves, but ZSC, you know, at times going up against some of those top teams, just seeming to be outmatched. We'll see how they do here against SAWO.
There are 3 keys to success here before we get to the action. Puck drop in just a few moments. We'll start off with ZSC and what they need to look to do here. And Sin, that first point's pretty simple. Cut down on the penalty minutes. Second most in the league with 42. That was entering play today before those other 2 games were played again against Kova. So presumably the number's higher, but it's another team that's very aggressive. They have the second most hits as well entering play today. They're having trouble staying out of the box, though, because of it. And with the 3rd worst PK entering play today, it's pretty clear that the penalties are a primary reason for their struggles. The second thing of note here, though, the offensive consistency. And I think we saw that in their struggles against Kova. They're bottom half in the league in shots. They're under 2 goals for per game, but they have a top 5 power play. Along with that first point, give yourself a chance to succeed. And then our final point there, the highlight reel potential. If there's one thing that we've seen from Chich this season compared to other goalies, he loves a good desperation save or two. Loves to go all out along the ice. It can get him in trouble, but hey, when it works, it looks good, and you can't question the results. Sin, for SAWO, 3 things that stand out for them heading into the action tonight.
Yeah, well, the first things first, we got to point him out. The main man on that team is EA Bunka. He has been the star of the show so far for them. It's crucial that he keeps up the pace that he's on, because he's had a hot start to the season. He cannot fizzle out. SAWO needs that help on the offensive side of things. The next point here is they need some saves. Roysto has struggled in his 4 appearances so far this season, stopping just, as we saw, 70% of the shots directed his way. The good part, you know, maybe the silver lining to that is Mahukati hasn't been too much better for SAWO. So now's the time that Roysto can make an impact and create a goaltender controversy here at SAWO. You know, get himself some more starts, prove to the team that he could be the guy moving forward. The last point here is painfully average. SAWO, 31 goals for, 33 against. While that looks good when you're going up against a team like ZSC Esports, it doesn't look good if you're trying to make the playoffs. You know, the 7th best power play as well, the 9th best PK. It's, you know, low hits, you know, low penalty minutes, a decent amount of shots per game, but it's kind of tough to see what this team's identity is. And maybe they're going to need to kind of sort that out as the season goes on, especially if they want, you know, to make the playoffs. I'm not too sure if this pace is good enough, so time to pick up some points here against ZSC.
Again, we are just about ready to go here for the first game of 2 in our second matchup of this broadcast. Of course, ECL action brought to you. You see them on screen by Wilhelm, Govalon, Lakritzi, and Via Play, and of course, NHLgamer.com for all the information that you need in regards to everything going on under the NHL Gamer umbrella. Of course, updated information for the Ducks Gaming tournament that's currently going on as well. Again, everything that you need. Our lower tiers, there's an extra one this year. Have you heard about our core division? Check it out. There's a lot to check out. Again, NHLgamer.com. Of course, follow us on all the socials as well. You see the links pop up throughout the chat or throughout the broadcast in chat. Sin, as we get ready for this, I mean, I think we can both hope for one thing. More than 2 to 3 goals in a particular game would be nice with these two teams. I mean, hey, they're both kind of up there in terms of goals against. So, I mean, we'll see how this plays out.
Yeah, I think, you know, definitely a possibility for that as ZSC, you know, at times they seem to be able to create some of those highlight reel plays, whether it be, you know, the man in net or, as I mentioned earlier, Freeman, who always seems to be able to be a difference maker out there. So you'd like to see a lot of that happening, you know, less of the neutral zone struggles that we saw from the previous matchup. But, you know, in SAWO, I mean, they scored 7 goals against Färjestad. That's no easy task when Färjestad has improved so much defensively, and you got McSavid back there. Did they catch lightning in a bottle, or are we seeing perhaps a SAWO Esports who's ready to start scoring more goals and be a true threat come the playoffs?
I mean, with that particular matchup, I had to go back and look to make sure, and it was McSavid between the pipes there for FBK. I mean, again, you're talking about them putting up those 7 goals against the goalie who led the league in save percentage last year. So we've seen from SAWO, they have the ability here to put up goals. It's just a matter of, can you do it on a consistent basis? But it's clear, if you can do it against a perennial playoff team, you can certainly do it here against the newly promoted club that's been struggling out of the gates for ZSC Esports. And again, like we talked about, Sin, I mean, ZSC, they're coming off of 2 losses to Kova just before these games started. Again, those games taking place no more than an hour ago at this stage. So they may have had some time to readjust at this stage. But again, a lot of pressure on them. It's a 30-game season. You sit there and say, oh, we're on game 12. We're on game 10. We got time. The season goes by incredibly fast. Every game matters so much. So right now for both of these teams, again, we talked about it with that first matchup. When you're not playing one of our best, when you're not playing Havu, Philadelphia, H-Reds, you need to make the most of it. SAWO, they're already playing with house money. You got the win against FBK. You pulled off the double, shockingly. Now is a great chance to really, you know, set the stage to go on a really good run here and make things happen as we continue to move towards the playoffs already. With that, the action is underway. Of course, the camera that we have here, a bit of a different look, shot on there by Snus to start things off. Always takes a little bit of an adjustment here, Sim, when you get someone that uses a slightly different camera. I believe Chich is the host of this one, the goaltender, so it makes sense. Let's see what SAWO can do in the attacking zone. That one intercepted by Tony. They're trying to go back down the other way. Again, SAWO able to quickly cut out that attacking opportunity. Lead things back down the other way, and already seeing you know, a bit of a stalemate here.
Yeah, we often do see that early on sometimes in games with the teams trying to feel each other out, find the gaps, and unfortunately for SAWO, unable to do it right there, and wasn't able to point it out in the pregame as you were making some excellent points, but a bit of a sad time for us. No sharpshooter in the lineup for either of these teams.
I'm glad you remembered, because I certainly didn't. Oh, the changes. R.I.P. to the sharpshooter. I mean, it lasted all of one particular broadcast, but Great times. Great times. But we continue on here through the early stages of this first period. Bunka sends it down and around. Still fighting for it and recovered. Shot on and a big stop there by Chich, denying Weagleson. Fake slap shot, stepping in over to the D. Shot scores! Deflected? No, it's in clean for the captain. Mr. Nipsley has the early tiebreaker.
I mean, what a nice play from Talon Mies right there. The fake slap shot. I mean, that can oftentimes backfire as it just creates, you know, a huge delay and a chance for the winger to force it off of you. However, that time it kind of froze the rest of ZSC. He passes over to Mr. Nipsley, who absolutely picks that corner with the wrist shot. Chich, you know, maybe a bit out of position, expecting the one-timer there. Didn't happen right there. He picks that blocker side corner. SAWO Esports out of the gate strong, getting that 1-0 lead here, and up early in this first.
Indeed, that fake slap shot to step in, feed his defense partner there. SAWO picking up where they left off, and that is worst case scenario here for the Lions. Let's see what they can do. Trying to battle back. Tony down low. Tried to go back to the point. Was snuffed out there by Weagleson. SAWO over the line. Trouble there, but held on by Chrysitis. For the moment, though. And Tony looking to step up. Poked away. All the way back down into the ZSC zone. Let's see what they can do now. Going back the other way. Snus holding it. Over to Timotei. Gets it back once more. Knocked loose, though, in the slot. Turnover here. Tony holding on to it. Again, loose puck. Shot doesn't get through. Second chance doesn't get through either. Freeman hit the post, maybe the bar. A lucky break there for SAWO.
Yeah, good job from ZSC getting the response here as they got some offensive pressure, and Freeman, we got to mention his name quite a lot in this broadcast, puts the shot, rings it off the post, and it's fortunate there from SAWO that this game isn't tied up.
Held in here at the line, shot on. Out of the way there by Roysto. Second chance there, Snus denied. Don't know if that one made its way to the goal or if it was blocked at the last moment. Good bit of offense there for ZSC. This one's going to go all the way back down to the SAWO zone. See what SAWO can do here on the breakout, and the answer is not much. They'll have to reset again. Roysto covers and plays it out. See again what they can do here, trying to gain the attacking zone. Great back-checking pressure from Timotei. And again, those SAWO quickly back in possession. Tony with the hit as they tried to cross the line. So SAWO did a good job once they gained the offensive foothold, but ZSC tightening up defensively here. They're in on the attack. Tony's shot knocked down by Bunka. ZSC, though, quickly. I mean, right now, a real to and fro, I guess, pace to this one. Chance for you, chance for us. Turnover here, turnover there. A nice and call here.
Yeah, and you guys, some dangerous turnovers from either team, except the unfortunate part for them, they haven't been able to make the opponent, to capitalize on the mistakes of their opponent so far. Maybe a bit hesitant, looking for a specific look, but it's simply not there. Maybe you want to see them just kind of improvise a bit more, and with those turnovers, just try to drive that net quickly.
Keep it alive here. Shot on, rebound, and Freeman just hit the side of the goal. Had a couple of chances in this one so far. Leading goal scorer for ZSC. Chich will cover that one. With a 1:11 to go. Make a wish.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I'd almost be saying snake bitten for Freeman. Those were two enormous chances that he had. That second one on the doorstep there as he got the shot away, hits the side of the net. So a post and the side of the net for Freeman so far. Keep watching out for him to get himself in scoring position and for the proverbial magnet on his stick to keep attracting that puck.
Weagleson fighting for it. Final 3 seconds. SAWO trying to fire one on from the opposite side of the blue line. Good attempt there. They found the opening goal, though. Mr. Nipsley, his third of the season, the difference maker so far.
Yeah, but if you're looking at the time on attack, it's ZSC with the pretty large advantage there. Also with the advantage on shots, the face-offs, even as we look at them, 3-3. So a few more stoppages than perhaps. Well, I mean, not that.
I believe you mean the bullies go on.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah.
Oh God, I might have to change my language to German. It appeases me. That is
It is an absolutely fantastic language to look at. I'm not, pronunciation-wise, maybe a bit difficult for us, you know, weirdos here in America only used to the English, as the rest of the world at minimum usually speaks two languages. But the second period underway now. SAWO wanting to pick up where they left off. We'll see if ZSC can find that first marker. It's not from a lack of trying and not from a lack of chances for them.
They have an opportunity there. It's kicked in. Might be waved off for goalie interference. I mean, the kick in came from Chich. Yeah, it's going to be goalie interference there, Sin, from the looks of it. I mean, to interrupt our lovely conversation about, like, LOL, aren't other languages funny? That one's going to count. And just like that, a minute and 20 seconds in, it is Chrysotis with the goal that has SAWO doubling their lead.
Absolutely, and that one, you know, kind of borderline, but maybe, you know, just the, you know, kind of shoved in. It was, you know, bodies on him from ZSC, but they may not be done here. Looking for more chances. Unfortunately, Mr. Nipsley unable to hold that line. They're going to have to recollect themselves here in the neutral zone.
See what SAWO can do. Opportunity and a big stop there on Bonka. Remember that save from Chich as SAWO again making the most of their opportunities here. Opportunity there for the one-timer. Read well by Tony to take that one away, though. See what they can do. I mean, I will mention, I wish 6th and 7th grade me retained some of that German there, Sid. Who knows? See, kids, that's why you pay attention. You never know when it's going to benefit you moving forward. Chance for Freeman, and it just doesn't go. I think Roysto read the impending pass, and it just ended up creating a little bit of traffic, a little bit of trouble there. SAWO again back in on the attack. A 3-on-1 developing here for ZSC. Shot doesn't go. What an opportunity for the captain, Snoose.
I believe that was off the post once again, so ZSC unable to find the markers despite the good chances, and that was SAWO Esports committing a few too many resources on the break, and it led to a 3-on-1 that developed the other way for ZSC. The good shot there, far side, rings off the post again, and if you're ZSC at this point, you got to be kind of shaking your head. Those are 3 good opportunities gone by the wayside, and you're down by 2 in this one.
A chance here for Bonka, drops back, loose puck, shot on, big kick save from Chich. And again, Sin, something that was mentioned in chat there that we didn't catch, Nipsley. Potentially with the wrong-handedness in this one, although you don't always need the one-timer. I'll say that. It's uncommon, but it's not the worst idea in the world to have your defenseman just with, you know, the strong side opportunity. Yeah, it neutralizes the one-timer, but how often do you even see one-timers neutralized? If anything, that helps with possession in his own zone. I don't find it to be as controversial of a move as that one is shot through the blue paint by Chrysotis. Saying every chance SAWO will get, they look dangerous.
Yeah, absolutely. ZSC, I mean, trying to come back and force one of their own right here, but SAWO, you know, just playing it a bit safe, kicking it back, looking for their chances. But yeah, you said it, every time they're in that zone, if they do get a chance, it is near grade A, as unfortunately for them, that goes back for icing, just missing the net. So good chance here for ZSC to gain some possession, maybe get another chance, and hopefully this time not ring it off a post or the side of the net.
Eye up off the draw. Just not able to hold on to it. Bonka was able to knock that one loose. Here's Talonmies with the move into the attacking zone. Still has it. Looking at his options, goes down low. Maybe that would have been where he fed Nipsley for a one-timer. Good passing here. Nipsley looking, shot, scores! The captain has another one. Who needs one-time preferred handedness? Nipsley snipes his second of the game. It's 3-0 for SAWO.
When you have a wrist shot like that, why bother at that point? Unbelievable as Mr. Nipsley snipes another one, putting his team up 3-0, his second goal in this one. It's been a while since we've seen a defensive hat trick, but definitely still on the table now with the shot he's taken. The space created from ZSC collapse that SAWO is kind of forcing with their down low play. They're not done yet.
Big stop there by Chich. Nipsley, 2 goals entering tonight. Has 2 goals in this game, doubling that goal total. Maybe the evolution of the game where it's like, hey, we play a possession game. Why bother setting up for 1Ts? This isn't Hut. Chance for Tony. One-timer. Snus denied. And man, how original Snus doesn't have a goal in this game is beyond me. Incredibly unfortunate at this stage. SAWO's back in possession. Final minute of play here in the second. Maybe an unfair scoreline of how the game's played out, but SAWO's not complaining as that offense continues to deliver for them.
Yeah, firing on all cylinders, and Roysto back there with a huge save off the splits, that short side 1T opportunity. Now it's original Snus now also being seemingly snake bitten here. Yeah, you said it. I don't know how this game is this far apart.
And for SAWO, poked away. Talonme's shot deflected. And that'll do it, Sin. So like you were saying, I mean, 3-0, an unfair scoreline to say the least, but the efficiency from SAWO right now getting them through.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, efficiency is it. I mean, scoring on half of their shots so far, and the time on attack even more closer. Closer spread there. ZSC had the distinct advantage after that first, but that second one, SAWO really started to get those guns going. And if you're ZSC, having not capitalized on your opportunities to see SAWO now getting some of that time on attack, you got to kind of be sort of biting your fingernails a bit, so to speak, as, you know, SAWO really seemed to get better as this is going on. Not to say that ZSC is necessarily getting worse, but SAWO, their chances are starting to mount up. ZSC, they still haven't found the marker there, despite some of the chances that they've had. Unfortunate, yes, but here in the Elite Division, it is unforgiving. You're going to have to get more chances. If the luck isn't on your side, make your own luck. We'll see if ZSC is able to do that here in the third and mount a comeback.
Try the quick out, cut out by Talonme's. Been one of his better performances in the elite and an elite game I think we've ever covered. Chance there for Chrysitis. He cuts back, throws it across for Bunka, the leading scorer of this team. Again, good movement from Talonme's. We pointed out SAWO as a team that could really push for a playoff spot off of what they did. Chance developing here for ZSC. Pass across. Roysto says no. Loose puck still in the crease. And the veteran netminder finds it. I mean, a defensive breakdown there, but you get a big save from the goaltender there.
Yeah, we've said that a couple times. SAWO, you know, again, like they get one of their defensemen gets caught. ZSC on the transition, but once again, they're unable to get a goal out of it. Freeman there was on the one time, but didn't have himself positioned properly. Ended up backhanding it on net. Roysto stopped it.
Good bit of defense there from Tony again, and I think we've seen that with ZSC. Games we've been able to cover this season, just a lot of unfortunate breaks as Snus tried to play it to someone who wasn't there. Stretch pass here, Weagleson now. Good chop to keep it alive between the legs there. Might have been going for the hip check. Really liking what I'm seeing from SAWO right now. Aside from that defensive breakdown. And that pass.
Yeah, the commentators curse alive and well. I mean, sometimes you wonder if we'd be better off not saying things at certain times. But that being said, SAWO once again entering the zone.
Only commentate once the play is over. I don't think that's exactly what we're looking for here. But here we go. ZSC back in the attacking zone. Tony fends off the hit. Chance shot, scores. There's Freeman with the bomb and a half of a one-timer, top shelf. No stopping that one for Roysto. And finally, ZSC find their opening goal.
Yeah, no post to hit on that one. An excellent shot from Freeman. Just an absolute howitzer, and not a whole lot that you can do if your Roysto moved over in time, but that puck had eyes. Just a great shot from Freeman, and watch out now, ZSC. They still have half a period to work with. May not be done quite yet.
And again, a 3-1 scoreline, maybe not indicative of how this game has played out. SAWO's offense looking this dangerous. I mean, ZSC, tough line to walk in terms of offense and defense. They got to go for it, though. They have a chance here. Thought they drew a trip. Haldeem was in the attacking zone. Smart move there for SAWO to settle things down. Big outlet pass. Weagleson got it over to Bunka, but they just mistimed it at the line.
Yeah, I like the forecheck there from ZSC, and actually Freeman came in there, laid a massive hit on the back end from the defenseman, who fortunately got rid of it just before that. If he didn't, Freeman would have got that puck one-on-one against Roysto. Really had a chance to make this game very interesting down the stretch.
Chance here, Freeman. Back to Haldeem, one-timer, deflection bid there for Timotei. Roysto is able to make the stop. We got 7 minutes to go here in the first game of 2 between these two clubs. And valuable points on the line. That pass intercepted. See what Snooze can do. The captain, the leading scorer, but nothing to do there. Great job by Tony to take away a very dangerous opportunity. SAWO back in possession. 5 minutes to play. Turnover here, though. Timotei to Freeman scores! Didn't look like he had much space, but he buries it again. The leading goal scorer for ZSC strikes. The lead is down to 1.
Wow, and that's SAWO maybe being trying to be a bit too cute in their own end, leads to a turnover. What a pass from Timotei. You know, the no-look pass across the ice hits Freeman, who makes no mistake once again. We mentioned it. I mean, he's not going to hit the post. He's not going to waste too many of his opportunities. He gets 2 more there and 2 goals for it. ZSC only down by 1. SAWO Esports going to have to be careful now. This team, they're looking, ZSC are really looking fiery here down the stretch.
4 minutes to go here. Now it was a turnover from Nipsely. He giveth, he taketh. SAWO in the attacking zone, not able to hold it. At this point, is it too little too late, not capitalizing on those opportunities earlier in the game? It's too little too late for ZSC. They're in the attacking zone here. Tony dishes it down low. Timotei, Snooze throws on a backhand. And Roysto makes the stop with 1:43 to play.
You can see the plays, you can see the ideas that ZSC has. It's just, if they can improve upon that execution just slightly, I can really see this team being a mainstay in the Elite Division. That's the play similar to what we see Philadelphia pulling off with that quick behind the net short side that we saw pass happening from oftentimes playmaker to Patzloff, and that's kind of what they're going for right there. Unfortunately, again, he got the backhand shot instead of the forehand. Had that shot come forehand, would have been a better angle and much more power on it. Could have maybe slipped in past Roysto, and then you think back to that 2-on-1 they had where Freeman got the backhand one-timer instead of, you know, the full blast on it. Just little things like that if ZFC cleans up, they could really get more goals.
Freeman had a good chance there. Big pass to EA Bunka. He has space, looking, taken away at the last moment. ZFC still has time. We're in the final minute here, though. Timotei loses it. Tony has it, throws it up and scores! Deflected by Snooze from 3-0 down. The ZSC Lions have tied it in the final minute. Unbelievable, Sid.
Were they perhaps watching the last series? Because that was an IQ play. We'll call that a 200 IQ play coming out from ZSC here down the stretch, tying it up, the shot from the point, the deflection on original Snooze now gets the monkey off his back after 2 close calls of him. Don't find pay dirt. He finds perhaps the biggest goal of his season thus far. They tie it up in the last minute against SAWO. We got ourselves a game, Toogie.
And what a shot by Tony, keeping that one along the ice. Perfect chance for it to be elevated, and it was. Here comes SAWO, though, down the other way. EA Bunka with a step, poked away by Haldim. Still kept alive. Bunka has it again. Knocked loose, still fighting for it. Here's Freeman. Stretch pass up to Timotei, doesn't go. 20 seconds here. What a game. From 3-0 down. ZSC have tied it. An offside call here with just over 15 seconds to play. How important could this be? Both in a positive and negative way for the seasons here for these individual clubs. SAWO will have it. It's knocked loose, though. Freeman to Timotei. Has a bit of space taken away. Freeman not able to make a play on the puck. One more chance. Bunka has it knocked loose. ZSC battle back to secure a big-time point here against SAWO.
I mean, it's a huge point. There's no understating just how important it was, not just for their season record to get back into this one, but for their mentality. You just came back a 3-0 deficit against a team like SAWO Esports, currently in a playoff position, and a team that should be pushing for playoff contention as well. A team that just 2-0'd Färjestad, who, as we have been maybe, you just came back 3 goals down. I mean, that is absolutely huge for them throughout the course of this season. We could be witnessing the spark from ZSC for them to really become comfortable, find their stride here in the ECL Elite. I mean, just an absolute pleasure to watch. Just an exciting game that they've provided us here, and this is just the first one. We have another one to get to after this, but before we even think about that, we have another overtime, and my goodness, it could go either way in this one. I can't wait for this to get underway. I'm almost out of talking points. I don't even care. I just want the gameplay to come back.
Here we go. You get a look. That first goal from Freeman that started the comeback off the post and in. I don't think they have time here to get you a look at the second one, but that turnover from Nipsely is what led to that second Freeman goal. And then again, was another keep into the attacking zone for ZSC. Coming off of 2 losses heading into this broadcast. Their 3rd game of the day. They pick up a point here that they desperately needed. And they shock SAWO at this stage. I mean, in the hockey math doesn't necessarily work out. SAWO beats Firestad twice, but loses to ZSC. I mean, it makes sense in terms of how these things play out. Just because you beat a top team doesn't mean you're not susceptible, to dropping points to a team below you in the standings. As ZSC going to look to end it right here. Tony, the pass. Nobody there, ultimately. I think right there, man, you throw a backhand on. Who knows what might happen. SAWO in the attacking zone, off the legs of the defender. Handled well by Snooze. And indeed, I will shout out Sibelius. He was right. The camera actually follows the center, not the goaltender. Fair enough. How he plays on this camera, nobody knows. But he has a goal in this game, and a good chance there. Roysto kept that one out. It's a turnover here. Timotek has that one knocked loose. Nipsely with a safe pass. Finds Bunka. Wiegelson over to Chrysitis. Back to Bunka. Still has it stopped by Chich. Big save there.
Huge save right there with the patience. Oh, an aggressive play right there from, I believe that was Mr. Nipsely. If that pass got off, that would have been Timotei in a load against the goaltender. So high risk, potentially high reward here as SAWO's on the counterattack.
Big hits from Freeman. He's a wrecking ball in center ice. But he takes a penalty there. It's going to be a charge. The 3rd hit was too many for the officials as he hit Nipsely. SAWO goes to the power play here. Again, ZSC entered play today with the 3rd worst PK. SAWO with a top half power play, but this one's going to go all the way down to Roysto to start things off. So a huge moment here for SAWO to recover and get that important extra point. Chance on the doorstep. Loose puck. Recovered by Tony, and he will clear that one out halfway through the man advantage here now. Let's see how it goes. Over the line. Chance for Chrysitis here. In front, scores! The pinching defender, it's Talanmees. He finds the winner, and SAWO avoid disaster and pick up that extra point.
Yeah, well, we talked about Nipsely giveth and taketh. Well, that was Freeman right there with those 2 big goals earlier. Takes a bit of an undisciplined penalty, trying to make something happen there in overtime. Gets caught on the charge, and the ensuing power play for SAWO is able to put the dagger in the back of that comeback effort from ZSC. Just excellent awareness right there. Just terrific job by Talamies to sneak into a spot completely uncontested here as oh, it looks like it hit part of the shot block there from, I believe that would be Haldim, and it sneaks home. Oh, just terrific effort from Haldim, almost preventing the goal there. But we mentioned it in that pregame, Tugi, with the 3 keys to success. You want to cut down on the PIMs. I mean, numbers-wise, they cut down on the penalty minutes, but you took one at a crucial time there, and it led to your demise there in overtime. The point's nice, but, man, how sweet would that extra point have been?
I mean, that's just a brutal, brutal break there to, go down to block a shot and have that happen. Certainly an argument as to why there should be more shot blocking and better shot blocking animations in the future of the NHL series. Something I've argued for on plenty of occasions. But that said, our first game is in the books. A lot to talk about here before we head into the second game. Before we do that, a quick word from our sponsors. We'll be back in just a moment.
Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.
Wilhelm vie nakkikioskille kotikatsomossa.
So same with that again. We are back. SAWO up 3-0. They blow the lead, but a power play goal from Talonese ends it. They still secure that extra point. I mean, for SAWO, really, it was self-inflicted wounds towards the back half of the game that ultimately allowed ZSC to get back into it. So all things considered, I don't think it's too difficult for them to say, yeah, more of what we saw in the first two periods of play, as opposed to what happened there in the third. I don't think there's anything else aside from those self-inflicted wounds. It's, again, we'll get a look at the goals here, and you see how hot of a start they had, especially there, Nipsely, with that first goal. But you saw it was that aggressive attack from SAWO that led them to having success. From there, again, self-inflicted wounds, and maybe, you know, dropping off a little bit in terms of the pressure that they were applying offensively that allowed this comeback here.
Yeah, and honestly, the self-inflicted wounds, I would say, honestly, they did happen over the course of, the beginning of the game. That being said, ZSC couldn't capitalize on their chances. I think maybe that gave SAWO the false sense of security, as we're seeing here just how quickly that lead evaporated. This last goal here, just seemingly harmless shot from the point, but deflected in on that short side, something that we've seen a couple times already today. This time, it was the game-tying goal from ZSC, but here on the power play, it's SAWO. Tremendous awareness there from Talonese to jump into that play and get that game winner. Heartbreaker for ZSC, but you know what? You came close. You had other chances in that game that rang off the posts. I think if you're SAWO here, yeah, you had the lead early on, but there's still, I think, a few things to clean up there, because if all the chances that, that ZSC had that either went off the post, went in, you're not even talking about an overtime if you're SAWO. You're talking about a loss in regulation. So they got 2 points in a game where they could have got 0. So you got to be careful if you're SAWO. And if you're ZSC, a positive here, but you do leave that point on the table. It's a tough break for them.
It was a very close game as well in terms of the shots. The hit advantage certainly went to ZSC, but the time on attack, even the face-off wins relatively close. I mean, Sin ultimately came down to the lone penalty of the game for Freeman. That was really just kind of unfortunate, all things considered. It wasn't a really egregious mistake on his part. But regardless there for ZSC, I mean, you mentioned it. They had good chances to the first two periods. It was just a matter of not capitalizing on them. It's tough to rule them out here, necessarily. Like, they are, at times, fairly consistently a tough team to get these points over. And as we saw, they have the ability to come back in situations like this. So I'm really intrigued to see what we see from them. And I think, it's another team where you say, hey, the willingness to just put the puck on net is never really necessarily a bad thing. I get the idea of possession. But at the end of the day, unless you're one of a few certain teams, possession is only going to get you so far. And maybe sometimes you do just got to settle for throwing pucks on net and looking for, the better bounces, essentially.
Yeah, and if you're not always going to have that near-perfect execution, unless you're perhaps a couple of the top teams here, which we see the near-perfect execution off those cycle plays. But yeah, for some of these other teams who don't quite have that, take what's given to you. And that's what we kind of saw ZSC doing. They, capitalized off turnovers that were kind of given to them by SAWO. Yes, they kind of helped force them, but again, they saw the situation develop. They kind of improvised on the fly. They made it happen. They came back in that game and got, a huge point out of it after being down 3 goals to none. That could have been it for them, but 0 quit in this team. You love to see that play out, and we'll see how they do here, ZSC, in this second one. And SAWO, despite getting that W, definitely some things to clean up, especially passes in their own zone, which led to that second goal from ZSC, direct result of being a little too cute on that breakout.
Absolutely. So again, just about ready to go for our second game of this series, our fourth and final game of this broadcast. Of course, we thank you for sticking with us here today. Sin, the difference here in this one, perhaps it's something that we always have to mention. It was a home game for SAWO. This time out, though, the home ice advantage, perhaps, that slight server advantage, perhaps. I mean, again, for as much as some people complained about it, you know, home ice advantage hasn't been a major thing for ZSC, and this one we'll see how this one plays out. They are home and ready to go. Again, we'll see how it plays out. As we are underway here in this one, our lovely producer just saying, hey, keep their faces on screen. And hey, we're not against it. There we go. We have an early face-off there. Again, we'll see how this one plays out with ZSC at home.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you know, it's been talked about. You can't really avoid it anymore on social media. Large debates happening over server advantage, etc., so forth. But when it comes down to it, you got to be able to capitalize. And there's SAWO early on looking for those in-tight opportunities. ZSC scrambling a bit in their defensive zone.
Looks like they've been able to settle it down here for the moment. Lead things the other way. Smith gains the line, finds Freeman. It's now Freeman rocking the golden helmet there as team leading scorer, taking that away from Snooze. And Tony to settle this one down. Good quick passing there. Too much traffic for SAWO. They win possession back. And quick movement here all around. Freeman nearly forcing the turnover there. Again, his physicality. Shockingly not even leading the team in hits entering play today. That was actually the right defenseman, so a very dangerous right-hand side.
Yeah, absolutely. A little bit earlier, too, Timotei laid a massive hit in the neutral zone. Again, didn't force a turnover, but if they keep that up, I mean, against SAWO, who seem to be struggling with the puck on their own at times, I foresee that creating some havoc back there. As once again, you can see SAWO likes to commit 4 men on that break-in. If the turnover's forced, ZSC, as we saw in that first one, will get chances back going the other way.
Indeed, they have an opportunity here. Snowson from Freeman scores! That quickly, Sin, it happens again. Great movement. What a feed from Timotei. And ZSC strike first.
Yep, Freeman really seeming to get that goal-scoring stick on display, and that one, no posts available. As you can see, it starts with, you know, a bit of a turnover there. SAWO trying to force the issue. The puck all the way back. Terrific 2 passes. Original Snooze. The sauce down low to Timotei, who kicks it back across. All alone in front is Freeman, and Roysto just can't get that pad on it as he slid across, and this time it's ZSC getting the early lead in this one, 1-0 in the first.
Huge goal there. Freeman continuing to do what he's done so well this season. On the board once more as the team's leading goal scorer. Offside call there, and again, we'll see how SAWO reacts. I mean, you know, obviously they got the winner in the overtime after surrendering that lead. Still a long, long way to go in this one. Of course, ZSC as well. Now's a good time to see how much they can improve their defensive ability. An aspect in which they've struggled this season. Timotei, great work to knock it loose. Takes the hit from Talonese. Still has, though, one-timer there. Loose puck still up for grabs. SAWO will settle it down. Good look there for Tony. I mean, Sin, like you mentioned, up there in terms of goals amongst defensemen. A little trouble there. Covered for the moment. Good outlet pass to the captain, Snooze. What can he do? Look for the spin. Doesn't go. SAWO back in possession, trying to lead down the other way. Good movement. Pass, shot just wide from Bunka.
Why you have to be mad?
Good feed from Weagleson. Still fighting for it here. ZSC going back down the other way. Space because of the pin. Shot. Didn't get all of it. Snooze has it. One-timer blocked down at the last moment. Very quick movement from ZSC. 6 minutes to go here in the first. Again, those offensive chances, got to make the most of them. They did get the opening goal. Snooze has it, spins, Freeman taps one on goal. Roysto's able to cover.
Yeah, and this aggressiveness from the SAWO defensive pair we've seen on display throughout this series. They're not taking their foot off the gas, and it's, again, almost leading to some big chances for ZSC, who are in the aggressive face-off. Watch for that quick one-time play.
Can't win the draw here, though. Talonese, big outlet pass to Weagleson. He'll drop back. Again, another turnover there as they cross the line. Snus has it shot, and Roysto able to stop that one from going top shelf. Good move. I mean, at that point, to try and pick that corner.
Yeah, and again, ZSC with numbers on the rush. 3-on-2 in the neutral zone allows them to gain that line pretty freely there as they got the chance on. And Snus aiming for that short side, perhaps trying to use the pass to Timotei as bait, but Roysto not fooled, came up with the save.
Knocked loose here. Tony trying to win that foot race. Talonby's able to settle it down. And SAWO looking for their first goal here in this one. It was a hot start in that first game as Freeman just couldn't hold the line. Sin, not enough speed on that pass.
Yeah, but this team is hungry. ZSC looking to counterattack, sensing weakness in that SAWO defensive strategy, and they're starting to, have a man leaving that zone early, trying to catch that SAWO defense napping right there. Almost does so, but you mentioned it, just not enough sauce on that pass.
As Freeman was looking for Timotei on the far side. Snus nearly walked away with that one. Again, SAWO's defense playing with fire. Bunka back over, hit post there for Chrysitis. Still fighting for it. Nipsely has it now. Pinching in front, covered by Chich. Good defense there to help out from Tony.
Yeah, the collapse from ZSC so far has been good, but SAWO, a lot of close calls right there with some of those in-tight chances. You can see after a while the defensive ZSC just putting their sticks down in lanes, not able to pick it off, just trying to get something here. As the period winds down, they're going to eat that in their end and hold on to that lead after this period here, as SAWO look dangerous at times, but really from our view here, ZSC seeming to be the more dangerous of them because they're adjusting. They're trying to force those turnovers from SAWO here as we get another look. Just an absolutely pretty play from ZSC on the counterattack. Once again, started from a turnover from SAWO. They had a few other opportunities like that. They did not find the back of the net. However, SAWO has got to kind of be, at least in my opinion, should be questioning that strategy of how many resources they're committing to get that puck in, because when it doesn't work, CSC's counterattack looks dangerous almost every single time they get it.
Well, 1-0 scoreline here after 20 minutes. We get a look at the stats, and I mean, Sin, it was a brief look, but just 2 registered shots for SAWO.
Yeah, only those 2 registered shots there. Just 4 for ZSC too, and not a whole lot of time on attack. So very much a rush, a counterattack style here as we're seeing how it went to original Snus there. Terrific area sauce to get around the defender and fed that one back. I mean, it's a pretty play. Happens so quickly, bang, bang, bang. But really, when it comes to it, we can see ZSC, the ingredients that they possess. Really a team that could make their mark here in the ECL Elite. They got to keep working at it. Got to keep taking points away from teams like this to make sure that they stay in this division and continue to improve.
So here we go. We move on. Early chance there for Bunka, perhaps. Tony able to stop that attempt. Timotei tried to rifle one in. Snus nearly got a piece of that one. Held in by Haldeem there on the right-hand side, but has trouble with Wiegelson. Here's the Bunka with speed. Still has it. Loose puck in front. Haldeem able to stop that one. So again, there's quick developing chances for both teams are there. Puck just through the crease. Tony on the pinch. Mentioning him a lot, of course, of these 2 games. Chrysitis finds Wiegelson. Now Bunka tries to go back. That's knocked loose. Here's Freeman. Able to find Timotei with a little bit of space. Drops back for Snus. Tried to find Freeman. Pass off the mark. Trouble there for Talonby's in the corner with Freeman, but he's able to survive it. Bunka's pass is picked off. ZSC trying to go back down the other way already. Bouncing puck. Timotei can't control. And a penalty coming up here again. 1 penalty was taken in that first game. Ended up resulting in the OT game winner. It's Freeman taking a seat once more. Sim, they quickly clear it out.
Yeah, that was a good face-off win from ZSC, who, if you saw that appear on the screen quite quickly, are losing that battle. But, they get the big win there to get the initial clear. SAWO, they were able to gain that zone again and set up.
What a play! What a goal! SAWO strike on the power play. That was fantastic. And the goal for Chrysitis to tie this one up.
I mean, yeah, just terrific puck movement right there. And I thought for sure that shot was going to come from the point with how often SAWO seemed to want to capitalize on that. But if you're ZSC now, you got to kind of be wondering, oh my goodness, we've taken just 2 penalties, but it's seeming to be quality over quantity as SAWO has capitalized on that power play again with some terrific puck movement. This time it gets him the tying marker right there as Chrysitus on that doorstep short side. Chich just looking like he was swimming in open water right there, nowhere to be found, and this game is all tied up.
Our key for ZSC, the number one thing we mentioned, cut down on the penalties. They've only taken 2. But they have surrendered a goal on each of the kills. Space here for Weagleson, knocked loose at the last moment. Here we go. Back in the attacking zone. The Lions have it, only for the moment. Aldeem able to keep it in. Along the corner, in front. Maybe one pass too many. A good opportunity, good interception from Tony here, putting the ZSC squad right back in on the attack. Snus, though, has that pass intercepted. Haldeem, good recovery. Double teamed out of possession, though. A lot of pressure from SAWO right now on the blue line pairing. As Nipsely sees an icing call there. Helps him avoid a pretty rough situation.
Yeah, that was a good attempt right there on the sauce, trying to hit Timotei, cutting across the ice there, just unable to kind of connect on that, and kind of surprisingly goes back for the icing, but SAWO looking for that one-time chance again.
A really good set play off the draw, just interrupted by the defense. Good movement here. Snook's not able to hold on to it, but wins it back. Freeman tried to go to Timotei, too much traffic. Freeman again knocks it loose. Over the line, but again broken up. SAWO back in possession now. And a dump and chase here, a different look. Weagleson is able to get it, but turns it over. 6 minutes to go here in the second, tied at 1. Pretty entertaining back and forth between these two teams so far. Drop back yet again. Weagleson has it, sends it in. Chich forced to make the stop and covers.
Yeah, so good looks from either of these teams, and, you know, I like the chances coming out. However, you know, neither team able to find the back of the net enough so far. That being said, though, another good offensive zone face-off for SAWO. We'll see if they're able to win it. Good job. And it looks like it was going to be Haldeem trying to lead that rush, but a quick turnover here. SAWO back in the end.
Not for long, though. 4 minutes to go now here. Tony has the puck with a bit of space, throws it on. Roy still with the stop. And a chance. Freeman still fighting for it. Will come up with it. Pass across is intercepted. Get in the middle there. ZSC trying to hold on to it, but the puck might as well be a pinball at this stage. Incredibly fast movement. Snus has it. Freeman not able to pull it into the middle. We're going to hit the final minute of play here in the second period. One sent down. We'll have another icing call.
Yeah, an interesting attempt from SAWO there. Maybe a bit of miscommunication as it was EA Bunka on the boards there. Just right as that sauce came, he sort of came off the boards, maybe expecting it a bit sooner here, but aggressive face-off coming out. Good win from SAWO there. So it looked like the stick lift, so they were going for the tie-up.
14 seconds there. And you're definitely not wrong. Battling for it. Chrysitus has it, draws the trip. Will they go 3 for 3? It's not Freeman this time. It's Snus, the center. Uncharacteristic penalty there for the captain. He does lead this team, though, I suppose, in penalties, but uncharacteristic for the timing. That shot's blocked down. We head to the third, tied at 1.
Yeah, usually you'll see teams kind of put their stick check button away at the end of the period, but ZSC perhaps a little too worried about the late chance coming out from SAWO. They take another penalty now. The good news for them is it's split across 2 periods, so they'll get the neutral zone face-off here, but SAWO hasn't seemed to have too much issue on the power play gaining the zone, and once they do, I mean, that's kind of how the last one got established. They gained the zone, and it was a quick bang-bang play for that one-time opportunity. So if you're ZSC, now's the time. You have to get this penalty kill going because we get a look at it. They came in on the rush, set up quickly on the power play, and scored. So if you're ZSC, this is a huge chance for you to prove that you can kill a penalty. And if you're SAWO, what a huge chance for you to gain the advantage in this game.
So here we go. Final period of regulation. Huge hit there. SAWO back in possession now. Plenty of time to work with. Bonka tried to send it across. Ever so dangerous for SAWO. Entered play today, tied for third in goals across the entire Elite Division. SAWO one more time. Bonka has it knocked loose. Christopher's not able to feed it through. Timotei clears. SAWO will have time for one more rush here on the man advantage. Game the line for the moment. Timotei knocks it loose. We're back to 5-on-5. Timotei has it. Freeman snuffs the shot. Second chance. Third chance doesn't go. Somehow, some way, Roysto. Calm and composed. Incredible chances for ZSC as the penalty expired. Here's Talonmies. In front, shot scores! And Sin, that was the story of game 1. ZSC not able to take advantage of their chances. EA Bonka. Or actually, excuse me, was it Bonka on that one? It was. Excuse me, indeed. EA Bonka has another one.
And yeah, somehow that pass found its way through all those sticks and bodies, but that's kind of been the case. ZSC have been seemingly unable to shut that down consistently. They fail to do so right there, and it's EA Bonka just picking that corner right there on Chich. Not a whole lot he could have done, but now SAWO again with the lead. We'll see if they manage it a bit better than they did in this last one. It is just a 1-goal lead, so one misstep by them can lead to another ZSC opportunity and a chance for them to capitalize and tie this game up.
Well, again, I mean, we've seen their ability to come back. Snus Haldim just missed the far side. Timotei can't get that shot off in time. Tony circling back, throws one wider than that. Talonmies was able to settle. Recovered here, though. Freeman has it across for Timotei, just out of his reach. Get there by Snus to keep it alive. 13 minutes to go here. Weagleson. Triangle of defense in front of him. The move from Chrysitis doesn't work out. Down the other way. Puck loose, and Haldim just couldn't hold it in there. So
yeah, that was a dangerous play as that puck bounced there. Yeah, you see Haldim looking to keep that in. They're going to have to take some risks right there. Fortunately for him, it led to an offside. If that puck was poked off of him, that could have been odd man rush going back the other way for SAWO.
Again, unable to gain the line there was Haldim. Trouble there, though. Let's see what Weagleson can do down the other way. The answer, not much on that occasion. ZSC scored first. 2 straight goals here, though. Puck off the back of the net. Covered by SAWO. Good quick movement to maintain possession. Extend to the other side. Good heads-up play there. Talonmies. On the back, Chrysitis, the wraparound. Nearly caught Chich off the post. Chrysitis still has it here in front. Weagleson not able to get a piece. 8.5 to go. ZSC running out of time. Here's Timotei. Able to get through the traffic. This one will go down for icing with 7:48 to go.
And here's a huge chance if you're ZSC to establish your attack. Once again, you've looked good when you've had that zone. The trouble is getting those wins off the faceoff and holding it there. As SAWO, with their aggression, have been able to get that puck out. Looking like they could win it again. They do come up with possession and immediately exit the zone.
Tick-tock for ZSC here. Huge hit. 4 original Snus. They gain the line, but only for the moment. Here's EA Bonka. Slow things down and wait for help. Tony, though, forcing the issue. 6 minutes to go now. Snus trying to hold it, but again, just too much traffic for SAWO in defense. This time passed there, but then again, valuable time ticking off the clock.
Yeah, and ZSC Esports are just throwing bodies around here. Neutral zone hit after neutral zone hit, trying to create a big turnover that they can capitalize on. Hasn't quite come of it yet, and yeah, you said it, the clock not their friends right now. Under 5 minutes to go, but SAWO, gotta look out for these. They're playing with it in their own zone. Remember, that led to a turnover and a goal in the last game. Get away with it here for the time being.
It's time there. I think Timotei was looking for that pass back from Freeman. EA Bonka can't work his way through. Now just 3 minutes to go. Tony over the line. Timotei loses it. High danger scoring area. Turned over there by Snoose. Weagleson fights for a good spin. Bunka scores! One turnover too many, Sin. Weagleson gets it to a dangerous area. Bunka recovers. Nothing Chich can do. And that should do it for this one.
Yeah, that's just an unfortunate turn of events right there. If you're ZSC, I mean, well played, but what a spin move by Weagleson there. Gets bumped off the puck, but guess who's there to take it? It's EA Bunka here. However, quick shot on net by ZSC and some physical play in front to sort of clear them out. Make sure if there is a rebound there, no blue jersey is getting a stick on that. Aggressive face-off once again. Let's see if they could do something with it.
Risto was able to make that stop. Face-off one, set play, poked away. Two-way play from Monk in this one. Smith has it here now. Looking, Freeman, one-timer goes wide. 50 seconds to play here. 3 unanswered goals from SAWO. Fortunately for ZSC, they didn't have a 3-0 lead, like we saw SAWO have in Game 1. Puck just bouncing around. You can hear all the collisions with they're just getting knocked loose over and over. This one knocked into the ZSC zone. Haldeem handles. Makes his way past Weagleson, but the pass is off the mark. SAWO Esports on a phenomenal run of form right now. They will pick up another 4 points here for ZSC. A rough day at the office, all things considered.
Yeah, I mean, they had that great comeback, failed to get the extra point. Looked like they were off to a good start in this one, but you know, their mistakes eventually caught up to them. But again, I mean, ZSC, they're a solid team. I like what we're seeing from them at times, but when the chips are all down, when they have a chance to get those big points, they just seem to come up short. So again, it's the ingredients are there, but they're unable to kind of make them into the perfect stew needed to push their way into that playoff position, but they're going to have to figure it out, or else they're going to find themselves in a relegation battle, which is simply not where you want to be. You want to make it to this division, then you got to stay in here, which is easier said than done, as SAWO shows them, you know, what it takes. Yes, they blew that lead, but they picked up that extra point in overtime. Yes, they went down early in this one, but they came back with 3 unanswered goals of their own and take that second one off of ZSC Esports. A big 4 points for SAWO, just 1 for ZSC Esports, and their season will continue to sort of kind of get harder and harder as it wears on. But if you're SAWO, you're now 8-6, firmly in that playoff position. I mean, 16 points on the season now.
So a big result for SAWO here again as they continue to pick up momentum. ZSC, you can see that the building blocks are there, but at the end of the day, the results just not there consistently enough for them. We'll see how it continues to play out throughout this season. I mean, again, it might be a team that needs to fend off a a relegation battle here, perhaps. Again, we'll see how it plays out as you get a look there. I mean, that's just one of those goals, Sim, where you can only say, well, what can you do?
Yeah, I mean, it went through a ton of sticks, skates, and bodies right there. Puck seemingly having eyes right there. As we do apologize for a misstep on the call. We had a bit of the information wrong. That is a hat trick in that game for EA Bunka. I mean, just terrific effort from him. And, well, we mentioned him in that pregame, how dangerous he is. And, well, he came to roost there with a huge hat trick in the providing the 3 unanswered goals for SAWO in that second game. As we get another look at that incredible display of passing. And the lone goal here for ZSC Esports, it was the poke back and then the beautiful area sauce tic-tac back to the Freeman there for that one time. Unfortunately, that was as good as it got for ZSC in that game, and that seems to kind of be the storyline for their season so far. Good enough to be here, but when it kind of matters most, all of a sudden they can't seem to bury the puck. Multiple posts hit, multiple side of the nets hit, few turnovers too many in their own zone that SAWO was able to capitalize on, or collapses at the wrong time that SAWO sent it from the point. And when they thought the shot was coming from the point, oh, guess what? They send it back down low with 2 quick passes, and EA Bunka buries it on the one time. It's, you know, ZSC, again, it's there. They just got to put together and execute.
So again, apologies to EA Bunga, but congrats on a very strong performance. With that, Sin, we are done here for this broadcast. However, Wednesday, oh boy, Wednesday. Can't wait to see this one, Sin. It is our version of El Clasico, as it is called. Philadelphia and Havu for their regular season head-to-head matchup. I am so glad that we get to call it as well. We will see Northern Ascendancy in action again as they will take on Vesapampa. So some action coming up on Wednesday that you're not going to want to miss. We hope to see you there for it. Sin, I mean, aside from one last look at the latest results here, again, pretty much good to go. It was an interesting day of action as things continue to develop. Of course, a huge day for SAWO, a rough day for ZSC Esports, and of course there we have a result as well with Ippe Voskala taking a game off of Rusty Blades. So still a lot of ways that this season can pan out as we approach the midway point. Again, NHLGamer.com for all the information that you need. We hope to see you on Wednesday. Until then, have a good one, take it easy, and we will see you then. Goodbye.
Wilhelm vie nakkikioskille kotikatsomossa.
Marko tekee maalin! Sebastian ja tekee sen maalin!
Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.